Did you put this up, Thomas?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we're up.
But I wouldn't mind it being right where it is. What do you want? Are you hot or cold, Mark?
No, I'm right there. It's
This
fine.
is normal.
No,
This is room.
I'm just surprised it's at 2.
This
That's
is a
all.
little warmer than normal, and this is a little cooler.
And I'm thinking it's not working.
Oh,
If it's at 2, does it feel like 2 in here?
it feels normal.
President Trump is tweeting, when will Nelson concede, suggesting possible voter fraud, where election officials have said.
The worst thing we discuss in general on this show is finance stuff.
Why?
Because people roll their eyes to the back of their head. People don't like talking about it, and they don't like talking about probate stuff.
So then let's make it about, I mean, you don't have to make it about,
If I get
it's like, you don't have to make it about financial planning.
No, I never use the word plan. If we could do nothing more than you're just regular nice people.
What time is it
I'll tell you,
Thursday,
that
by the
counts
way?
more than anything.
And is there a phone number they can call too to sign
Yeah,
up?
John has it.
303-577-4987.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Tom, look, you and I mean, look, we go way back. We lived
Right,
through
but
it.
I don't wanna fail. I wanna
No,
be perfect.
no, what
Yeah.
I'm getting,
Huge,
what I'm
huge.
saying to you is, we
What
have
is it?
lessons to teach people that they forgot.
577.
These lessons are very important.
4987.
You know that?
4.
I won't get into
Concerned about
AIDS
the
and
side
all.
effects and high costs. Now there's a new all-natural smart pill available that's the
But
closest
wouldn't you
thing
say
to a real-life, limitless pill.
one of the primary ways, I don't mind saying it, one of the primary ways is my money, my bank, my loan.
Absolutely, Tom. It's critical.
It's a great.
That drags me.
It's the best.
Because
It's the best. And you
It's
can
the
just say,
best.
Tom, I've taken it, and over the years, I've just enhanced it. I've created a process now that integrates it into everything you do. So it's not only, it's everything. There's
Let's try,
three
and I know,
components.
I want to,
Yeah.
these are the primary words that I really want to
I
avoid.
hear you.
I want to avoid, I want to avoid process, I want to avoid
Okay,
anything that
cool.
sounds, but I like the idea of helping people to understand and
You're
educate.
better looking.
Okay, I'll say it.
Man, we have so many fucking people that want to write, Mark, they want to teach people stuff, and I don't know, I'm just trying to get to people where they won't roll their eyes to the back of their head. I think in general.
How else do you do, Tom? How else
We
do
just
you-
have to
how
do
do you-
it.
Okay, so then the only way to do that is to say, here's where you are today. If this is where you want to go, what do you have to do?
Right,
You have to
We're going
learn,
to end up moving one of those that way.
right?
I'm not doing it today.
What do you want to
I don't think we're ever going to fix that.
You don't think so?
What?
Just that computer's been gone now for over a week.
We,
And they also do, of course,
You wouldn't think, man. You wouldn't think. Although, you see that chair you're sitting in?
No, I took a good one.
Okay.
what,
Material, custom edges, sinks, cabinets, and you'll love the work they do. When you get a kitchen right now,
I am
he's gonna
so
do that for
happy
no charge, and he's
that
gonna show
Hillary's
you
running
how it's done.
Where do you even see that? I didn't see that.
it's all over.
It's all,
I think we're all happy.
Like where? Where? Give me a site to see it. I looked.
Wall Street Journal?
CNN.
CNN.
Nothing.
Wall Street
Today
Journal.
Show.
The Today Show. Who the hell watches the Today Show?
Most Americans.
The Today Show. Most Americans are at work.
The number one morning show. Most people watching TV that time.
For you if you can't, do they allow
Well,
you
those
access
12
to
people don't
equity
know.
for that unexpected emergency?
Today Show is a huge show.
Is that followed by Donahue?
895-05.
I was watching Married with Children last night. I fell asleep to it on Hulu. Holy shit, there's no way they can run that show now. That is the most sexist show. Al Bundy is the most sexist man
Well,
that's
that's
ever
how they still
walked.
run it.
Well, it's on Hulu. God, is it funny though. It is so funny.
There's another one.
They're literally watching a woman fix a refrigerator bent over, making comments about it.
Oh, Married to Children.
Oh my God, is he funny?
There's a bunch of shows back then.
And your family.
But his son is worse.
Such
a horn dog.
He is. And then Kelly plays a perfect stupid blonde. I mean, it is actually a very funny show.
Got too many wires here.
It was kind of like a little modern day Archie Bunker, but not really. They were outright.
That was a good description. Modern day Archie.
And how Ed O'Neill got a role in anything else after that. Talk about typecast. My God.
I don't know who
Good
that is.
serious roles, too. The dad on Married with Children, if you ever seen it. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he got some really good serious.
You know
roles.
what? With Archie Bunker, though, he got that. He played a sheriff or a cop.
He did the
He
night.
was a good actor.
But it was like 30 years later.
But he was an actor before the world.
Yeah, the Heat of the Night show.
Heat of the Night.
Yeah, that was memories good too.
I'll tell you the one that blew me away was Roseanne, her sister on the Roseanne show, is a Broadway actress. I had no idea. I always thought she was kind of ditzy.
Sister.
Roseanne's sister on the show. I mean, she's really good.
Did you only have one sister, or more than one sister? Was your sister gay, or I can't?
I think she is.
Something about the sister.
She's gay on the new show. I think they canceled it. It went. I want to say. I think it's over. Yeah, I think it's over though.
And now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have all kinds of things to talk about today. Welcome. This hour brought to you by Become the Banker, overfunding life insurance to establish a tax-free account that grows tax-free. Just go to becomethebanker.info for more information. You know, on this show we talk about a lot of financial things. There are many different ways to skin a cat, as they say. 303-713-TALK is our number. Call us. We have problems to solve and things to talk about. Becomethebanker.info. Joe's been doing this for years with overfunding life insurance. It's just a normal, regular plan to put money away and to shelter it from taxes because it will grow tax-free. And if you borrow it, you don't pay tax on it. And then you have an account to supplement retirement. And isn't that what people try to do in life, supplement retirement? A lot of people want to have a better lifestyle. A lot of people want to reduce taxes. A lot of people want to increase income. You know, really when it boils all down to it, you can't do one thing. You just can't. You know, anyone who says you do one thing and you solve your problems, they're lying to you. You know what? You can't, you know, you hear people day trading. Oh, you got to day trade. Then you hear people say, oh, I got this life insurance product. That's all you need to do. Or you hear people say, you know what? I found this one investment, or I buy gold, or I buy silver, or my financial planner gets me 17%, or one guy does this, one guy does that. You know, the sad truth is, and it's not even sad, it's a great truth, is that you got to do a little bit of everything. You have to understand what you're doing. The first thing I always say is you stop the leaks. You really do. I mean, isn't that really logical? The first thing you do. A lot of people don't realize they have enough money. It's just that they don't spend it wisely. There are people that have life sentences when they have a credit card. It's a life sentence of debt because they keep buying stuff. I knew a young lady who had 7 credit cards. 7 credit cards, and she maxed them to where she was paying minimum payments and never missed a payment. But this woman was 40% of her income was gone because of compounded interest. And then that interest accumulates, and then she pays interest on interest. You know, so many people, when they go to buy something or go on a vacation, young people especially, they want that look. They want that feeling. They don't look at that car or that purse or that vacation and say, it's going to cost me this much. They say, how much a month? They think in monthly terms, not realizing that some of these cards could keep them in debt 30 and 40 years. It's just ridiculous, the debt that we're carrying. So, 303-713-TALK. We strive to talk about all kinds of stuff that will help you. And the truth is, there is no one thing. That's why we're doing this My Money Evolution we'll talk about coming up. We have a couple of guys in the studio. Please ask questions about it, My Money Evolution, because it's not one financial plan. There's no such thing. Now, I'm not saying that some of these things are not good or bad or otherwise, like the life insurance policies. I'm not saying that the IRAs, 401ks, they're all good. They're all, you see, you have to look at your financial life like an orchestra. And you can't have any one of those instruments going nuts. Or the conductor is doing a bad job. He's got to keep that orchestra playing. Sometimes you hear a little more drum, sometimes some bass, sometimes the string section, sometimes the horn section, but that conductor has to keep it moving and keep it moving. And the first thing the conductor does, do you know the first job of a conductor? Do you know what the guy did when he came into Boston Pops? or the new guy at the New York Philharmonic, do you know what the very first thing they do is get rid of the bad musicians? That's the first thing. They don't bother trying to make you fit. So, in your financial life, what do you think the bad instruments are? We'll talk about that. How do you make your orchestra make beautiful music? You don't necessarily have to bring in new musicians. You can do it with the musicians you have and just make them play together better. So please call us with any questions you have. I want to know what you're doing in your life to make a difference financially. If you do nothing but save money in a savings account, I'd like to know. Mark, if you had to sum up your financial life, you love day trading. Is that the...
I don't day trade as much. I do a lot of trading.
But okay, is trading the basis of your financial life?
Ah, boy, is it the basis. No, our business ventures is really what I bank on more than anything.
Okay, our independent stuff, right.
Yeah.
Now, what about...
And property. People build equity in their house, and one of the things that drives me insane, I was looking at how much I pay on interest. I got a 15-year mortgage. It's 2.625%.
Which is a great...
You can't beat that anywhere, but if you still add up what I pay on compound interest over those 15 years... A lot of people waste a lot of money is the bottom line on interest.
So let's talk about that coming up. I need to go to people who have contacted us for help. And then I introduce the guys from My Money Evolution, John and Matt Clace. I've known them for many, many, many years. Many, many, many years. Bob, what's going on with you? Bob?
Yeah,
what's going on with your storage unit? We have a contract here. What is the problem, sir?
well, they released the property in July, Tom, and the fella told me he was going to go in there to inspect cars. And
what did you lease?
It's just a storage unit.
How big? How small? What's the size?
650 feet, 17 by 38.
Okay. Now, what's the problem?
Well, dude went in there, started opening up a body shop, spray painting cars, destroyed a beautiful...
You mean next to you? Next to you, Bob?
Yes.
So somebody opened a body shop next to you, and that little mist, that can get everywhere. So are you saying you got overspray in your unit?
Well, you got fumes and body dust and
do you have any permanent damage?
Well, not to my unit, but I rent him the unit next door, and he's got body spray and car paint all over the floor. And
you're the landlord?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, don't you have covenants or rules on what can be there?
Yes, and we've kicked him out. He got out of there.
Okay.
And, but instead of turning up the lease to me, he's gone and re-rented it, which is against the lease.
No, wait a minute. How did you get him out of there?
I told him he couldn't paint there anymore, so he went and rented another storage unit around the corner, and
he is subletting the one you're renting to him, which is against the lease.
Exactly.
Well, this is a very simple problem. I mean, you're a landlord. If somebody sublets, you can just evict them.
Well, not evict.
Oh yeah, what's the nerd? Yeah,
it's a writ
of whatever you can do.
Yeah.
Listen, let's use the word evict. Seriously, why don't you evict him?
Well, the thing is, he did pay me his rent this
You can
month,
evict him for violating terms of your lease. You can evict him for that. So, if in your lease subletting is not allowed, you can evict him. I need to know if it's this simple, Bob. Really, I don't want to waste time. Do you have in your lease provisions that forbid subletting or subleasing?
Yes.
Is he subleasing?
As far as I know. He says it's his stuff in there, but I know it's somebody else.
So evict him. And then at the eviction hearing, he can give his side of the story. And you show evidence to support you. I mean, I don't know what else you were hoping we would say. We do want to help you, but I don't see where we can help. You have a written document, and you're a landlord, and you have someone violating the lease, so you take them to court.
my question, okay, I have to take them to court. That was my
In
question.
an eviction, you give them notice to quit. Okay?
That's right, 3-day.
And then you take them, and then you have to go and get a court hearing. And then at that court hearing, which most of the time people don't show up, but he probably will, then you guys fight it over. And then after that, you get your writ to evict him.
Writ of restitution.
Yes. And it's really an eviction, okay? We all call it an eviction. But that's what you get. And then you go and move his crap out. But unless he does it voluntarily. You should have an attorney as a landlord. There is no way anyone can be a commercial landlord effectively without having an attorney.
Right. And I realize that now. I made some big mistakes here.
But I think it's not going to be as difficult as you think. The eviction process is not that difficult. He's going to try to fight saying, I'm not subletting. Now, you do have to have some evidence. You can't just say, you know, but you know, if the damages alone that he did, you can evict him on the damages. You're saying right now there are damages to that unit right now.
Yes, there is.
That's enough to evict him. So, what is your hesitation?
I guess my question is, are there the rules for storage units any different than, say, rules for a tenant in a house?
You mean as far as eviction?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, yes. There are different rules for eviction, yes. Mm-hmm.
Probably easier rules for the landlord. You can probably lock it. I mean, what's in the lease?
Well, hold on. Clint, I know that you do a lot of rentals, but do you do storage units?
Basically, hangars are classified as storage units if it's written correctly.
Do you have to follow the rules for storage?
I don't have to, but we've written the leases to follow rules of storage, so you can do a 3-day lockout and throw them out. You don't have to do an eviction.
Okay, so
writes the lease.
So I was wrong about the eviction when it comes to storage units.
Well, it depends on how they've written it.
But isn't a lockout for non-payment? It's not for violation of lease, right? Or is it for both?
It can be anything. We get
so if you find someone violating terms of the lease as far as what they're using the hangar for, can you lock them out?
Actually, you do a 3-day notice to quit, and then you actually lock the door on them. And
you can do that,
and you can auction their stuff.
But you have to have an attorney. I mean, in other words, don't just do that.
You have to have your lease written like storage unit leases are.
So, you know, I don't know how you got in the business, but I'm hoping you did it right. I hate to say just go to an attorney, but really, you're a commercial landlord. That's what you are. You're a commercial landlord, and you need to go out. And if you have your lease, we'll have one of our guys look at it, one of our attorneys look at it to see what kind of a lease it is. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan, if you're buying or refinancing, Ideal. 303-867-7000. 867-7000. They'll write it for whatever term you want. 10 years, 15 years, 18 years, 22 years. If you want the lower rate, but you don't want to go back to 30, idealhomeloans.com, 303-867-7000. They also have the interest rate guarantee. If you refi or buy and rates go down, they will do it again for you, free of all lender fees, and that's a 2-year guarantee on every single loan closed. That's idealhomeloans.com.
These are sponsors that want to get here done. That have to do your
That's in pretty good shape. There's a few little blips of delay here and there, but the highway drive has improved quite a bit over the past 45 minutes. Northbound
How many sign-ups you guys got?
Between 225
22?
Tom, that was good opening. You know, I use that conductor thing in my events I still do. I still use
you know how I know
that.
people
I use
don't
that
like looking at.
analogy.
You know why I know people don't like looking at finances? I don't like looking at mine. I don't. I mean, my philosophy has always been, just make a shitload of money. And you know what?
Most people.
But as you get older, you know, and then, but making efficient use of that money is just as important.
Well, not everybody has the ability to make $250,000. I mean, you know what I mean. Most people are making $150,000. How do you get by?
Do you realize that?
Let me think about
that. Do you realize $150,000 right now is not? Do you know if somebody made $150,000 a year? That guy was like, what do they call stepped in shit, right? That's what he used to call. Now making $150 grand, it's like, Oh, you poor soul.
No, because the
It's
average
not.
is still
No, but it's
little,
hard.
man.
No,
It's hard.
to
I'm talking about couples make 150. and
It's
they're
hard.
not rich.
And I call it my competing money dirt.
It's sad. Well, what's the answer? You know, one of the answers is
Medium household income in the U.S.
Yeah,
56 grand.
no doubt. No,
is that median or average?
Median.
average?
No, that's medium.
That means no.
No,
There's a
average
difference.
is going to be way different.
Average is different because average is skewed by somebody
Sure.
making
Sure.
100
Billion.
million.
True.
Yeah.
A
billion.
median means
Yeah.
that there are an equal number of people making above and below.
True.
You ever talk about the student loan thing? Is the crazy.
Yeah, student loan debt
People
is the
making
bomb.
more than 50.
That's a bomb.
They got
That's the death. True.
It differs by state so much, too. It's incredible, man. Oh, it's crazy.
Look, you know, Tom, that you're right. There is no silver bullet. There's no one thing. That's why this concept, I think, is
Are we on? We're on audio, right? We're on. I have a problem with people that have one thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. Look, this is everything. Like I told you, this doesn't box us into any one thing. Right? I mean, we teach everything from, you know, 401k plans, Tom, are the best vehicle in the world to get you to retirement. They're just horrible getting you through retirement. Because the reality is you earn compound interest on the taxes you defer.
What are you talking about? Say that.
See, what people don't understand is 401k plans are the best vehicle in the world to get you to retirement. They're a great savings vehicle because you earn compound interest on the taxes you deferred. The problem is when
What do you mean taxes you deferred?
So you have more money.
On your
But here's the problem: what people don't understand.
when you take it out.
But the minute you get to retirement, they're the most problematic account
Why?
you have.
Tell me why.
Taxes.
Okay, tell me why.
Because you pay ordinary income tax, which
So
is
what do you
nice
do
amount.
about it?
You plan ahead of time, and you don't put all your money inside a
Saying
401k.
change vehicles.
If you
I have a
no,
shitload
you don't
in a
change.
401k.
If
What
you
do I do about
but
it?
you have other money. Most people retire
What do
with.
I do with the money I have in there? Is there a way I can convert it?
No, you
Once we
yeah,
get
you can
your
convert
house.
to Roth.
Yeah, but if you look
You
at
can take
401k,
Because you
take
got
advantage
free
of the
equity
Trump
when you
tax
cash
laws.
out
Wait,
your house.
right now I can convert my 401k to,
A Roth.
and what's the benefit?
I'll show you. You pay lower taxes. Buy your partner out today in the lowest tax bracket we're ever in. I'm teaching.
What I mean is, if I take $1 million from
So
the
look,
401k,
let me just ask you a simple question.
Yeah.
If you have $1 million in a 401k,
if I did,
what is okay?
I don't
So what's your income gonna be? Give me a ballpark.
come on, I mean, we're on all.
Right.
Give me a ballpark.
Jackie's
I'll
getting
show
ready
you.
to go to the P.O. box. She just wanted
Just
to
use
get a cup of
generic
Joe
numbers. Use
before she left.
100,000.
Okay,
Do you
Tom.
want a cup of Joe before she
Tom.
leaves?
Tom.
Okay.
The Trump tax code, they're temporary. They expire in 2026. So here's my point. I can show anybody.
Let's say someone made over $1 million, and they have $1 million in a, let's say it's $1 million in a 401k.
Then $1 million.
Then they can't.
But you have other money to control your income.
See, that's the problem, Mark. All of these tax benefits phase out after you make a certain amount of money.
Of course. Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John Clace, Matt Clace with us, mymoneyevolution.com. You know, it's the weirdest thing in the world to ask you to sign up for that because you're not signing up for anything. They're not going to try to sell you anything, but you're going to be educated. Speaking of education, Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair they're insane people, I'm convinced. Mark Machowski has been in the car business for over 30 years doing car repair. I love the guy. And he says, you know what, Tom, I got an old-fashioned shop. You come in, we talk, we know our customers, you know, and we give you prices up front and all this. And I want to do something so different. I want to fight the apps and the chains and all the other guys. So I just said, the hell with it. Here's what I'm doing. I do Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. So on transmission problems, if someone's relatively sure, you're not obligated. If you're relatively sure, barring some major stuff, you want to get your transmission fixed, but you don't know what it is, and you really need to know first. With no obligation, he will tear open the transmission and examine it and give you a full detailed report, no charge. that's free.
And options. In other words, you might want to rebuild the whole thing as one cost. You might just want to slap it back together and make it work for a while.
But listen to this. It's free. Now, you may say, okay, really? What if I don't want to get it fixed? It's still free. What if I want to take it somewhere else? It's still free. What if I want to put it back together and junk the car? Well, if you want to junk it, you shouldn't put it back together. But what if I want to put it back together and just limp along like I was doing? Most of the time that won't happen, but say you will. Before you even start the process, under that unlikely event, he'll give you a price up front. And if you don't like that, then don't do it. But here's the point. You'll never have to pay. In other words, most of the time what happens, it's so much money they decide it's not worth it. So then you will never be charged. Or you find someone that, or you want to take it home and screw around with it. You're not going to be charged. This is the most extraordinary offer in transmissions. Here's another one. If you already have an estimate, they'll beat it by 10% or $250. Whichever saves you the most money. It's just budget A1, 303-781-9858, 781-9858. When it comes to transmissions, if you know, and they do their own machining, and I know this is longer than usual, but it's just phenomenal. Okay, let's talk. Brian went and got some treatment, and he wants to give me an update. Now, I'm not sure what led to this treatment, Bob. Did you call me, Brian, with a problem, and I recommended it? Can you refresh my 65-year-old memory, sir?
Yeah, Tom. No, I just been listening to the show, and I heard him talking about Suzanne.
So we never talked before about this.
No, not about that issue, no.
Okay, so what did you do? Did you go to the Hormone Bros or somewhere else?
I went to the Bros.
The Bros, the HormoneBros.com. They do BioT and more. What happened? Tell me. You got the pellet treatment for BioT, right?
I sure did. The day after Suzanne.
Okay.
And so it's been a little over 3 weeks, and I got to tell you, they're amazing. They're comprehensive. They told me I needed some vitamin D, which I was unaware of, and I got my follow-up next week. But I was losing muscle the last couple of weeks, or last couple of years, and I've gained 5 pounds back in the last couple of weeks. I'm an ultra runner, and I used to take me 3-4 days to recover after a big mountain run. Now I can go out the next day and do a little 5K and feel fine. When I'm in the gym, I feel like I have this solid foundation.
Exactly.
Anymore.
You know,
and I sleep like a baby.
Brian, I used to, I hate to admit this, I used to cramp if I did crunches. I literally got a groin cramp. I was so out of shape. I mean, I was ashamed to admit it. Or I'd get like Charlie horses and stuff by trying to work out, and it's something that creeps up on you. It just does, man. And I want to encourage people to optimize their hormones no matter who they are. I'm serious. You know, forget commercials, forget anything. Just do it for yourself, okay? And here's the thing. Honest to God, if I did crunches, and even if I tried to add weight to those crunches, I literally would get cramping and back pain. And now I start at the curls at 150 crunches, and I work down to 120, and I do 1,200. Now, 1,200, I'm not saying because I'm a Superman. It's amazing. Your bodies do it. You just do it because you feel better. So just let me know your updates. And if you're not doing hormones and doing something else, let us know about it. In fact, let us know whatever you're doing for that. And then when I talk about finances, let me know what you're doing. Do you know we've had times on this show where someone has called me, and we've literally adopted something new because someone said, Tom, try this. And we have adopted it and gone nuts with it. That's how the new orthodontics started. Some guy said, hey, forget cosmetic dentistry. Here's what I'm doing. Then on stem cells, some guy called me and said, Tom, you are doing a disservice. You know that do you remember that one call, the first call we got when I was doing commercials?
You bet I did.
I was doing commercials for Stem Cell Institute of America.
John Jones. Or no, I'm sorry, Dean Jones.
Dean Jones. And I was, because I didn't know anything about it, I just knew that, you know, it's logical, right? Stem cells, amniotic fluid or umbilical cord, stem cells. I was even paying to store umbilical blood from my kids' births, thinking you could condense those and use them. Here's the point, okay? Make a long story short. If that caller is still around, he called me and challenged me. And I was kind of pissed off, and I started doing an investigation and found out he was right. There were no living stem cells in these products. Now, they weren't harmful, okay? They weren't harmful, and they did have growth factors, and they did have benefits, but they were not stem cells. And that's when I got hooked up with Centeno Schultz for real stem cells, because they extract them at the time. So, but it started with a phone call. And so if you have anything to tell me, okay, the guy called about the eviction. And he says, Tom, you're wrong about evictions, you know. And then really, if you think about it, I was wrong, but it's something everyone gets wrong. They automatically assume that last hearing is the hearing for eviction. Without getting into too much, he said, well, there's another hearing that you're not talking about. And so people on this show, information is evolving, okay? That's what it's doing. So when it comes to all of this stuff we talk about, they're sponsors, yeah, but we handpick them on purpose. It's a real deal, man. We handpick them. The thing about BioT and the HormoneBros.com and Centeno Schultz, that's real stuff. I mean, when I tell you get your stem cell therapy there, it's because we believe in it. And every once in a while I make a mistake, and I depend on you to call me and tell me about it. In fact, I never, ever shy away from people telling me stuff that we need to hear. Travis, now, you want to talk about 2 dogs that were put down. Were they yours?
Yes, sir.
Did you have to have them euthanized? Why? Did they bite people?
They bit somebody. Yes, they did.
Okay, so what's this call about?
This call's about the abuse of authority, the strong-arming, just they went against the court order. I signed a plea and everything.
Okay, so Travis, when did this occur? This thing? The bites.
It was, I believe it was in September. It's been they had them locked up for 90 days.
Well, but I need to know the basics. How did your dogs bite this woman?
Okay, so I had some friends from out of town.
Yes.
Which was kind of rare for me.
Okay, but just keep going with the story. You had friends from out of town, or what happened?
I was outside, and I came in, which I would lock the door behind me every single time. I locked it, and I unlocked it because I thought my...
Can we just say it this way? Travis, we're not... This is not a trial. I'm just trying to say, the dogs got out. Is it safe to say the dogs got out?
They got out. The wind picked up and blew the door open.
Okay.
It hit the wall. One of my dogs walked out, went to the left, didn't do anything. Took about 30 seconds for the cane corso. He got up, and he thought the person was messing with the house because the door blew open.
Man, King Corsos, they're beautiful dogs. Did you have 2 King Corsos?
I had 1 King Corso and 4 Australian Shepherds. One was a mom and 3 brothers from the litter I bred.
What are the two that were destroyed? The King Corso and what else?
One Australian Shepherd of mine.
Okay, so these dogs got out, 2 of them, the Corso and the Shepherd, and bit this lady.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
and they thought they were protecting the home. Okay, so then normally these dogs are destroyed. Why did you think yours were not going to be destroyed?
Well, the Colorado statute says it's not a death penalty on the first offense. That's why I was able to work out the plea deal with the DA.
Then why were they destroyed if you worked out a plea deal?
Because apparently the Humane Society at Larimer County is judge, jury, and executioner. They can do what they want.
All right, hold on, and we'll dissect this.
It's a pit bull, right?
No, a King Corso?
It looks like
one.
I'm pretty sure it's a pit bull.
No, it's not a pit bull. It looks like a pit bull, but it's like a collie looks like a Sheltie. But I know what you're saying. But it's not technically a pit bull. But I don't think that's the reason anyway they were destroyed, because the Australian Shepherd was destroyed too. But we'll work it out. 303-713-TALK. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. These people I have been representing for years when they help me with my tinnitus. Now, they have all kinds of treatments for tinnitus, some of them better than others depending on the kind of tinnitus you have. some people don't have a choice. They have to have one treatment or another. But there are some treatments that can permanently get rid of your tinnitus. I urge you to call them. They're the leaders in this research and treatment, along with, of course, hearing aids. So if you have a hearing loss or you have tinnitus, one or both, they're at Clarkson and Hamden in a brand new facility. 303-534-0163. Helpforringing.com, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center.
So, hey, Mark, Tom, what I was saying on that Roth, this is just
go ahead.
This is really important.
Yes.
Mark. So you asked me, someone who's making, so if you put all your money into an IRA, right? The Trump tax code, what it did was it cut from 15 to 12, 25 to 22, and it took the 28 down to 25, which people think is a 3%. That's a 22% reduction in tax. But he created the brackets and he upped the standard deduction. So let me give you my point. So you get into, you leave your work and you got $1 million in IRA. What should you spend first? You know, most people will use their cash because they don't want to pay taxes. The reality is that if you're in a low tax bracket, you control your income, you could pull all your money out up to $101,000 of income, minus standard deduction of 24 grand, get you in the 12% bracket. So basically you can pull money out of an IRA, or you can convert it to a Roth. So you could convert 70 grand a year to a Roth and pay only 12%.
If your income is under.
But now, let me give you the best thing he did, Trump did. People don't realize this. You go up to $349,000 of income, minus a standard deduction, which is $329, and convert up to $329,000 of your IRA to a Roth for 25%. Now, you can go back in history, and it's never even been close to that. So you can convert. You can buy out your partner for now into the future.
What do you mean buy out your partner?
Your partner is the IRS.
Okay.
If you have $1 million, you only have $700. It's the truth. You'll pay 30% of tax on it.
I know.
It's the truth. So you can basically today, until the Trump tax code expires, and I'm going to teach this there. So one of the things about tax-free,
where do these start phasing out? What income?
They don't. If you get above 500,000, you're just, you're going to pay a pretty high tax. I mean, you save a little, but listen to me. Think about this stuff. Think about teaching someone who, then let's just say that you're in between jobs and you don't make that money this year and you have some 401k money. Convert it to a Roth. Convert it.
That's the time
Use it or convert it to a Roth.
Because it's never going to be lower.
Correct. They're
and
not
if you
going to be
convert
lower.
it, you don't pay the penalty.
You can convert it no penalty, and all you're doing is you're just basically removing tax from the future.
Here's what I'm asking. Because I'm 65, I'm in a unique position to be able to roll around and play with this money any way I want. Which money? Any money, any retirement money, any qualified plan. I will not be penalized.
Well, yeah, you can take it out.
But I'll be taxed.
But you'll be taxed.
The only way not to be taxed is to roll it over.
You can convert to a Roth.
But
you don't have to convert the whole thing. You can convert but it's added to your income. So if you're making $1 million, you're going to pay a pretty high tax. So I'm not sure,
So what do you mean? So when you pull it out, you pay tax on it?
Yeah,
because you have to tax money before it goes to a Roth.
Yes. So if you rolled over $100,000 to a Roth, you're just going to write.
Goes in.
You're just your 100 goes in, but you write the government a check for 25 later.
Okay,
you don't take it from your.
That's what it
But the point is, if you believe taxes because of the Trump tax,
I believe they're going up.
Then if you take advantage of the Trump tax,
buy out your partner when it's cheap,
and therefore we'll teach you how to be.
Even though it hurts, it's going to hurt less.
Every step of the way.
Yeah.
How much time today?
It's how to take advantage of the tax cuts. Now that's just a portion of what was on the tax-free side. I mean, that's my point. We're going to show this is no silver bullet. It's not just not about life insurance. Yeah, I'll teach people how to challenge us.
But if somebody has a lower income, they may not be able to afford to write a check for the tax.
Of course, this is people that you can't do it all.
895-0500. Thousands have learned how to become mortgage safe.
This thing about IRA, about 401ks, the taxes the government is owing.
The people, here's the thing, if you say something, Tom, I'll show a silver bullet more time.
Oh, has he?
They're great.
He was asking about you guys.
Retirement, and you should.
There is no way to get 401 money, 401k out money without paying tax. So whatever your rate is.
You can do it through the traffic network, but
reduce your overall tax,
that's about it.
which creates wealth.
5,001.
You know?
720.
Traffic is, we just have a way around traffic. It's got to be in more than one area.
So, anyways, you know, these are things, little things, like, I'm not going to teach you tax or life insurance. Like, of course, that's a component of it, but I'll teach you, Rob. I'll teach you how to create tax-free money. And why should you have tax-free money? Well, in retirement, if all your money is in 401k plans, what tax-free But if you diversify the tax buckets, we don't have to get into that, but you know who I'm getting.
What would I do with the dog?
You have the ability to control every cent you pay in tax. You can't control the tax code.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, DenverEgressWindow.com. If you want to convert square footage in your home to usable square footage that will be appraised and increase the value of your home, you need egress windows. In many cases, you need more than one. DenverEgressWindow.com, no matter what, it's safety for your home. And it's security for your home. Now, you may have old window wells you need to fix. That's what they are, window wells. Okay, that's what we know them as. And they can fix your old ones that builders have put in that rotted out. They can also punch new ones through the foundation. They can even do walkout basements on flat lots where they terrace down to a patio. Look them up, DenverEgressWindow.com, 720-626-4221, DenverEgressWindow.com. So we're going to talk about this seminar coming up, and someone asked if there's any charge. Obviously, there's not. They want you there. Matt, can you, without getting into a lot of detail, what is the main topic? What's the main topic? Because we've not been able to talk about it. Because there's nothing. I don't know what to say. It's almost like the Seinfeld show about nothing.
No, it's not.
It's about everything. But it's about. It's not about one thing. So what's the topic?
Tom, you said very well. There's no silver bullet, right?
Yeah.
There is no silver bullet.
Would you say reducing interest is one
I think
on what you pay?
There's two things that people have to really understand how to create wealth. One is that any interest cost or tax you can reduce or avoid now or in the future will give you a better opportunity to create wealth.
So avoiding interest, what do you mean?
How to basically, Tom, everything you do, you finance, right? But the reality of it is that when people look at the volume of interest they pay over their life on their houses, their credit cards, cars, whatever it is, there is a process to be able to reduce that and create and pay simple interest so that you can reduce your interest. So you can reduce your interest cost by reducing that interest, paying less interest. It's just that simple. Over time, gives you the ability to have more money to create wealth.
Because a lot of, and just one example, a lot of people have money sitting in their bank over a period of time. And even if you only have a few bucks here and there, over a lifetime, that money can be offsetting interest.
Well, think about this. Why do you keep your money in a bank? Why do you do it? What are the two
Well,
things?
I do it for convenience because really you make less than 1%.
So does everybody.
You make less than
Tom,
1%.
Everybody does. Everybody runs the most volume of money you'll ever have in your life is your cash flow.
Through your check,
And it goes to a bank account.
It just doesn't last
and
long time.
But it doesn't earn. It earns zero. So people that don't know what to do. So basically, what we're going to be teaching is a process how to reduce, eliminate interest cost on your debt, which allows you to get rid of it faster, and basically how to put that money to work for you to earn compound interest.
I want to just whet your appetite with something, and this seminar
it's that straightforward.
I know. Here, let me just whet your appetite really quickly. Let's say you have in your account $5,000, in your checking account $5,000 for 10 days. Then you get another infusion of cash, and you have it in there until you pay some bills. And you have, let's say you have 15 in there for another 3 days. And let's say for 30 days you have 8,000 in there. And then let's just say your year. Take your year. With that money sitting there, it might be 2 days, one amount, 10 days, another amount, 30 days, another amount. Just think of the fluidity of that money going in and out of that account. For every single day money sits in that account, they're going to show you a process. For every single day it sits in the account, it's working for you and not sitting in the bank. And it's automatic. It's an automatic process. Because banks, this is what pisses me off about banks. The billions of dollars people have in their normal checking accounts on an everyday basis. We, on top of that, pay fees to banks. And that's amazing to me. But they're literally keeping our money free. I mean, does anyone even depend on money? It used to be when you had a savings account, you could actually make 2 or 3 or 4% in a savings account. You can't make savings accounts anymore. So that money that just sits there, why is it sitting there? I tried thinking about this. It's sitting there for what reason? For no reason, for convenience. And so what if, while it's sitting there, it could earn you compounded interest? What if?
Well, that's the process that people have to go through. You said it before. There's no silver bullet.
Right.
I know you don't like the word process, but this is a process of learning.
Right.
And educating yourself that
so
there is another way. I call it changing the equation.
We should never have a normal checking account ever in our lives, or a normal savings account. And you don't have to make any more money to make that change. You just don't have it, and that money, I wonder over a year's time what the average person can make in compounded interest if it just sits. I'm not talking about savings now. I'm just talking about the ordinary money that runs through a checking account. What do you think they can
Tom, it's called opportunity
What do you think
cost.
they can make? I'm wondering, the average person.
Couple grand.
Easily a couple grand. Easily. I think more than that. You know why, Mark? Because if that money, instead of using a 14% credit card or 18% credit card, if they use that and paid it back, again, it's always that principle of using your own money instead of credit cards. Okay, I know I'm being tired. I'm tired of being told I'm overtime. Travis, on these 2 dogs, we got to get right to this. You said you had a plea bargain, and what was the plea bargain in writing? It actually was before a judge.
It was the judge and the DA. They couldn't ask for the death penalty. We agreed upon a plea bargain with conditions. The judge stated to both the DA and my attorney that they needed to work it out with the Humane Society, and
So who killed the dogs?
The Humane Society
on their own.
And I even retracted the plea to try to save
what
the dogs.
What city was it?
All I had to
Larimer County.
Larimer County. What Humane Society? We've gotten complaints about this Humane Society before. Which one is it?
Larimer County Humane Society. Yeah.
Suzanne, I almost remember this. Hold on. Here, let me sum this up in a nutshell, Travis. You saying your dogs bit a person, and therefore you had to negotiate to keep them alive under certain conditions. What were you going to do? Pay a fine, and what else? What else were you supposed to do?
Fine. I mean, there was fine. It's not only that. It's the way they treated me, the strong-arming, the false police reports,
Travis, I can't get into that. Travis, I can't get into that. What I can get into is this. You say you had an agreement with a judge and a DA, and did that agreement specifically specify that the dogs would be kept alive?
The number one thing was they weren't to be euthanized. And then...
Can you send us that agreement?
I can have my attorney talk to you about it.
Well, no. If there was an agreement, it's in writing.
Well, he can send it to you. He's got all.
All right, because really, Travis, it's useless to talk about this without seeing this literal. So you're saying you had a court-ordered agreement, and the Humane Society said, we don't care what was negotiated. We're going to destroy these dogs.
That's exactly right.
Really? And you have a written agreement on what you were supposed to do. Did any of that include anything with the dogs, like you must keep them inside or you must give them training?
Yes, and that was put out by Bill Porter, the director of the Humane Society.
Okay,
director of operations.
But why did they go ahead and destroy the dogs anyway? That's what I don't understand.
Read that section 6-104 that Suzanne sent you.
All right, we're going to do that. Hold on a second. 303-713-TALK.
They are pit bulls, so you know.
Well, they're not, Mark. They look like them, but they're not.
As far as Denver and everybody else is concerned, they're all classified under pit bulls.
Oh, okay. But the King Corso is not a pit bull. They might be classified as one.
The American Kennel Club and the United Kennel Club both classify that dog as under the pit bull umbrella, which is where Denver and everybody else points to on the pit bull ban. Well, which is the main problem, because this section 6-104 pretty much she's screwed.
But that's not why they did it, is it?
I don't know why they did it.
48 right now. What did she send me?
It's pretty good though. Just read it. It's real.
You know, you can get his attorney on, but I think he's shit out of luck. I don't think he had an agreement. I don't think he did.
Well, even if he did, what can they possibly do? Sue for what? What are his losses? What do those dogs cost?
So what about this section? Okay, good deal.
It says any dog that causes a physical threat will not be released back to the owner.
Right.
So that's why he doesn't have it.
But why did he think they would be?
I don't know. I have no idea why. But it basically says it will not be released to the owner.
So the lady at 21 stitches
shall not be released to the owner or any other person,
Why
with
did
the
he
exception
think-
of the authorities or a zoo.
I don't know why he thinks he had an agreement.
What would you do to a dog that ripped someone's foot apart with 22 stitches? Honest to God, what would you do?
Well, I want to put down.
Of course.
Hi, I'm Tony Martinez, co-founder of UST.
I want to put down because you can't trust a dog that bites back.
No, not like that. Especially once they get a taste
Now the
for it.
Australian Shepherd.
I don't know, that's like we hear, you know, I don't think it's getting it.
Like a bear.
Well, no, there's something else they said that when they get a taste. No, you're right, it is a dog. That's right, they call it bloodying them. And they do it on purpose, you're right, there's a process where they actually crave it. Now that,
secured fixed returns and
here's the deal.
real estate, a huge
Nobody wants
free.
a vicious dog. And this happens beyond. Do you know there's never been a case that I know of where a dog has been vicious and the owner thinks they should be put down?
Of course not.
I would. I'd say put them. Sorry, I'm not going to brutalize the dog, but I don't care if it's my dog. It's going to be put down.
Just like those lawyers in San Francisco where that dog mauled and killed that lady. They wanted them to be put down.
My friend Jerry had a pit bull Taco. It was the nicest damn dog in the world. He went crazy one day. He ripped the meter off the house. You know how the underground comes up. Ripped a tree out.
Whose was it?
My friend Jerry. And it had his daughter.
What does this guy want, though? We can't bring the dog back from the dead.
He wants to put it out about Larimer County.
But all of their statutes, man, basically say he ain't getting his dog back.
I think Tom,
Until I get the information.
I don't think he had everything.
This is why I wouldn't have a pit bull.
I wouldn't
They're
either.
going to get you nothing but trouble.
processors and the latest servers.
You can't defend it.
Brand electronics are on sale.
You know, some dogs that look like Dobermans look neat, but I've never every Doberman I've ever met has always turned out to be a nice dog.
At Black Friday.
Dobermans generally aren't on any kind of van, though.
Yeah, I know, because they're nice dogs. But they
Wow.
look.
Well, in general, you can't say that about any dog.
Yeah, any dog. Those little taco dogs.
They'll bite you.
No, I'm serious. You know, I'm tired of people saying, well, this is the... In general, sometimes, you can say the labs, in general, are not aggressive.
Here's how basic they get in Larimer. Listen, it is unlawful to own or keep any dangerous pet animal. A dangerous pet animal is defined as anyone that attempts or bites a person. That's so cut and dry.
Post your job at Indeed.com/hire.
Who says that?
Larimer County 6-79. Dangerous pet animals prohibited.
Why does he feel? I just don't get it.
That's when it's time for reaction.
I'd be sad if my dog had to be put down too. Still,
You put them down.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, you don't take a chance.
Oh my God, no way. In fact, his homeowners, I bet he doesn't have homeowners.
You know, I don't know if you remember back in the 80s, a couple pit bulls ate a little 7-year-old girl.
They killed a lady in San Francisco.
This girl they killed, the girl they killed her and ate.
How many feet underground do you think Larimer County says you have to bury it at? 2 feet.
2 feet.
Now you're
At least 2 feet.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Listen, I'm going to sum things up in a nutshell with
This dog owner. First, please note this website, gocamsolar.com/troubleshooter. Now that's gocamsolar.com. You can read about the company, and then if you put /troubleshooter, you can get a form to fill out, and they'll send you a free analysis of your lot and what it will produce over 20 years, and then guarantee that along with parts and labor on some components for 25 years from both them and the manufacturer in some cases. So to get details, call them. If you want to buy a system, you don't have to put any money down, and you have small monthly payments instead of electric. So you're not increasing, you're decreasing your bills right away. GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter, and then eventually when you own the system, you make no payments. GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter. Now, with Travis, Suzanne, without a written agreement, without us looking at this, but here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a conflict in the law. The law says, in Larimer, period, if it's dangerous, if it bit a person, you can't have it. He's saying he made special arrangements with the prosecutor and with the judge. And I don't even know if they can do that. But even if they did, it would be in writing and evidenced. So does he have a written order?
So two things. Apparently his attorney has that. I have a message into the attorney. But the second thing, Travis said something really curious, Tom.
Yes.
He had kind of indicated to me there was a lot of back and forth. Well, this all happened in September. I wonder if it's been the amount of time the dogs have been at the Humane Society that they decided to euthanize. I don't know.
Here's the deal. If he had, I have never heard of a plea bargain for dogs where you spare their lives. But if he has one, the question is, why did the Humane Society supersede it? Okay, now I'm going to move on. Until I see that agreement in writing, because just discussing it is not an agreement.
Well, and signed by both parties. I mean, his attorney might have drew something up.
Yeah, Duke, what's going on, Duke?
Hey.
What's happening?
My call, like everybody said. We're in the midst of an HOA that's trying to raise our fees, currently $50, trying to raise to $65, and they're claiming that proxy votes are not counted, are not allowed.
Well, it depends on really what the rules are. I mean, here's the thing. When an HOA is established, there are rules. So there's a section that deals with proxy votes. And they can
anything specifically about the budget meeting. It just says proxy votes. You know, they're claiming that it's only good for elections.
Well, it depends on what the organizational documents say. You can organize there is no universal answer, is what I'm saying, Duke. You can organize your group to do what it wants with proxy votes. You can make proxy votes good for everything. You can make proxy votes only good for certain things. So what does the organizational document say? What do the rules say, in other words, the bylaws?
Right. Well, it says it's a whole lot of legal mumbo jumbo.
Right. So here's what you're saying. You're saying if they have an election, they'll probably win because they're not allowing other people to vote by proxy. Is that right?
Correct.
What is the manner of voting, Duke? Do they have to be there in person and raise their hand, or is it a ballot?
I've been to one, and I can't remember, but regardless, they are claiming that they have to have 67% of the people in the neighborhood present to vote it down, if that's what they want to do. You know?
Okay. Duke, the answer is in your documents. I could tell in about a half hour if I had the documents and I lived there.
Right.
But you have to read the documents and decide if they're violating it. But here's my guess, Duke. Seriously. Are they represented by a law firm?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The HOA is represented. And who is the law firm? Is it Hinman Sanchez?
Ooh, that I don't know.
Okay. That's usually the one all over. Okay. But here's the deal. If they're represented by a law firm, I sincerely doubt, you're not going to want to hear this, that they are breaking their bylaws. They just, there's no reason for them to do it. Do you see what I'm saying, Duke? So I'm not sure what the issue is. If the majority of homeowners don't want it, then they have to find a way to legally vote that down, legally, according to the bylaws. Okay, so it may not allow proxies.
Is your credit score preventing you from buying a home?
You know what? Calls like this, I just repeat it over and over. So tell him he's got to get someone to read they got to get the bylaws. Or he can send us the bylaws if he wants. The ones that have to do with voting, he can send them to us.
Hey, Tom, I got to split at 11:15, but John's going to stay. You can split at 11:15, but John's going to stay.
Now, they look at a variety of factors,
of course it is.
like your income, your work history, and when you pay your bills.
Many times we get,
Yeah, no, John will be here. John will be here, though. I'll just set it up and then.
Improve your credit getting you one step closer to a customized, competitive rate mortgage, one that's focused on your financial goals. Affordable home ownership is within reach. It just takes a call to the salary-based mortgage consultant.
This is the same one.
No, we don't have a lot. We only have one.
No, but the show, the K-House.
Only one mortgage sponsor in the entire iHeart chain. Only one. Except Ideal is on my show.
And
who was that?
There is only one sponsor.
Who was that right there, though?
Ideal. I'm
Eric.
There's only one.
No, I know sponsors, but I meant ads. That was
American.
Only one.
Oh, I got it.
If you
That's
hear
the only
mortgage
one.
ads anywhere with iHeart,
With the exception of Kurt and Ideal, only between 10 and 1.
Got it. Makes sense.
Did they renew their contract?
Who?
American Financing?
I think they did, yeah.
They what?
Renewed for another year, I think. I don't know, honestly.
You know, I didn't. Are you guys the one that's having the seminar on the 15th?
Yep.
I'm gonna be there.
It's good.
My wife and I are coming.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, I still don't understand it. But
I know nobody does, but it will. It'll shed a light.
Yeah, you know, we look at talking about investments. My wife and I look at everything. We always have.
What are you invested in now?
Mostly, we have 67 airplane hangars as rentals.
Well, that's pretty good. So that's
an Airbnb.
You have 67
airplane units
that are bringing you income.
Yeah. But
so
we're too heavy in real estate. We're trying to move.
So how are you going to liquidate from real estate, or will you ever? Do you want to how much have they appreciated? I'll give you an idea. A lot?
About double from when we started.
Okay, so then
21 years ago, though.
Okay, so they're pretty highly appreciated.
Yeah.
So you have a low cost basis.
Yeah, but here's kind of a special thing because we don't own the ground. They're depreciated on a 10-year schedule instead of a 29 and a half.
So you own the structure.
Yeah, we own the structure, but Adams County owns the land. So they're depreciated out. As part of
How long do you lease the land for?
The leases run 40 years.
Okay, so then do you need to sell those properties to live on, or is just an income?
We don't need to sell them to live on, but I mean, we're selling some right now to do something different. I want another Airbnb because those have been really profitable.
So Tom, I got a great so real estate, highly appreciated real estate. I'm having an event on how to take highly appreciated real estate and how to most people, when they get to 65, 70, they don't want to be landlords anymore, right? They want to collect rents and all that. So, but how do you 1031 it? Right? It's hard.
And what do you 1031 to?
Well, no, you can. We have you use Delaware statutory trust into a REIT. You can 1031 exchange it with a Delaware statutory trust into a REIT. So then basically all the tax you would have paid, you now are earning yield on. So like for example, I took a guy with $2.5 million. His cost basis was a half. He was making 120 grand net, sick of being a landlord. He would have had to pay $1 million in tax. We just basically then 1031 exchanged it into the REIT. He's making 5.5% yield, and he gets to pass that asset to his kids as a step up. So he's never going to pay that tax. He's making money on it. So that's how we teach how with real estate. That's a good exit strategy because then you just create income and it's a great asset to pass. So that's really good. You ought to look at that someday. That's a really
I don't have any income.
Yes, that's right. So that's a really good play. I mean, real estate's real estate. That's just income investing.
Hangars couldn't be any easier.
Yeah, that's a good.
There's just nothing. I mean,
it's a good little niche.
If somebody ever moves out, there's somebody standing there waiting to move in.
There's 10 people standing there waiting to move in.
And you go down there with the trash can, the leaf blower, and you're done.
That's awesome.
So there's nothing.
Snow removal.
Yeah.
Who does that for you?
Me.
Do you do snow removal then?
I got a big truck, a big 5-ton truck.
Yeah, but you have to go get there?
Yeah. He likes doing shit like that, man. I like plowing. I really do.
But how many rows do you have to plow?
It takes me 6 hours to do all the ramps.
I don't like plowing that much.
No.
I would not plow for 6 hours.
The radio's on, it's an air right seat.
I'm back with Tom now. You had me. It takes me 20 minutes.
I was just going to say the first 20 minutes of anything you do is fun.
The first 20 minutes is all right.
How many units?
happier, prefer is
67 of them we still maintain.
Why don't you start selling them off?
We are.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, Frank Duran's got some listings.
Man, they sell immediately, don't they?
Pretty much. The regular units do. The flight school building, it's a problem. Why? Because it's not quite big enough for some things. It's too big for a private owner.
How big is it?
3,500 square feet with 1,000 square feet of office.
It's got office and other things.
Oh, okay.
I looked at it.
It's not.
How much are you asking for?
Oh, God, I don't know.
What was it, 275 or 3?
Yeah, I think it's 3 now. I think it's listed at 3.
But it's 3,500.
Yeah.
I looked at it. It would have been ideal for me, except that there was too many upgrades I wanted to do.
Is it 3,500 plus the office space?
Well, it's 3,500 with their second story.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, plus that.
No, but the footprint's 35.
Yeah, I got you. But there's a second floor.
It's a big square unit.
If you or someone you know is
Is there a bathroom upstairs?
No. When we built it, we built it out as a flight school. And I done it differently. I would put a bathroom upstairs, the upstairs, put a bedroom, a bathroom, and then an apartment.
Could be a man cave.
That's what we got in ours.
But you can't live there though, can you?
No.
Even those garage towns, you can't live there. Those garage towns, you know, they go and fetch guy.
In a hangar, they allow pilot lounge in case you're stuck overnight.
Let's put it this way. There are so many people doing that now, and they get away with it.
Yeah, who
There's
cares?
so many.
Stick your motorhome inside.
I don't know of anyone that's ever been stopped from doing it.
free, no obligation consultation. The Raleigh House.
That's what you do. You just put your bus in there.
Yeah, plug it in.
720-893-5559. Call
That too. But it's just kind of an odd size. What's really going to make the difference is every fence at airport. Some believe it's not. I know. Half of the outside the fence.
Where is it? What airport is it?
Or I should say,
Program based sweet airport, and it never reaches full potential because of its location.
The Troubleshooter.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. And this hour brought to you by Fix It 24/7 for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And, of course, as you would think, with any reputable company this time of year, the phone's ringing off the hook, especially with the cold weather, but they're still offering $39 to find any problem and to present you with a full written report on what's wrong. If you want to get the work done, you get it done, and they waive the $39. If not, that's all you pay is $39. You can't do better. FixMyHome.com. Now they're busy. You may have to wait, but they're worth the wait. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. That's what we do here. Help, information, referrals. We're all about help, and we're going to help you. All you have to do is give us a call, 303-713-TALK. So let's get right to it, okay? Now, we can't do the impossible, but we can help. Now, I noticed Larry's been waiting a long time, so let's get to Larry. And then I'm going to tell you more about another seminar coming up, mymoneyevolution.com. Hey, Larry, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm calling about a Tempur-Pedic mattress.
What's wrong with it?
Okay. A couple of years ago, I'm a part-time resident of Arizona, full-time resident of Denver.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, and a couple of years ago, I bought a Tempur-Pedic mattress for $3,500 here in Arizona.
Yeah.
And it never felt right. It felt uncomfortable. It ached my back and that. Well,
but when was it purchased? A few years ago?
Yes.
How many years ago?
They boast a 10-year warranty.
No, I understand that, but it's a 10-year warranty on defects, not on if it's comfortable. So when did you buy it? Did you buy it? How many years ago?
Well, I have a Tempur-Pedic mattress.
I guess I'm not going to get an answer.
For years, and
I thought he said 2 years ago.
Did he say 2 years ago? Okay, he'll just keep talking. Okay, 2 years ago. And then tell me the defect, Larry.
Well, I measured everything, and it turned out that the mattress is a half-inch higher on one side than it is on the other side.
I don't think that's even determinable.
On a slope, and it bothers my back. And so what I did is I contacted the warranty department.
Larry, how can you determine a half-inch slope on a mattress? I mean, that's almost
You get a ruler.
Yeah.
You get a ruler.
Yeah.
And you put a straight edge across the mattress.
Yeah.
And you measure the ruler from the box spring the side of the mattress.
I would say that's almost within tolerance.
Measure.
I would say that's almost within tolerance. I couldn't even believe that a half-inch would bother you.
Oh, it does, so, you know.
Do they consider it a defect, Larry?
Well, this went on and on. I filled out
Larry,
the form,
do they consider it a defect?
They never said. They
Okay.
just said that's not covered by warranty. After 4 days of emails and pictures and photographs.
Why did they say it's not? Yeah, I understand. You want to tell me about your pain and suffering, but why are they saying it's not covered by warranty?
I don't know.
They didn't give you. Go ahead.
They had me go through a lot of gyrations of photos and documents.
Of course.
And original
yeah, you
receipts.
said that you said that already. But what does that have to do with their reasoning? So I need to get to the reasoning part as to why they say it's not covered. Do you have a written warranty?
Yeah, I have a warranty, and it says, you know, I said, this is clearly workmanship. This is a defect, a half-inch. I'm sleeping on a slope and it's bothering my back. And they says it's not covered by warranty, and they left it at that. After 4 days of having me document everything.
Larry, this is now the fourth time you're telling me about your 4 days. I think you're more upset about the documentation than you are the final decision. Look, just for the record, Larry, you never have to mention again the trouble you went through to document this. You don't have to mention it again. We get it. And we get that it's a pain in the ass. I get it. And I would be upset too if I thought I had something defective. But I have to tell you that it sounds weird to us. And everyone, I'm looking at everyone here. It sounds weird that for a half an inch, you're saying that it's causing that much trouble. I don't know how 1/2 inch across that wide of a mattress could cause back problems. In fact, Larry, I'd venture to say it couldn't.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not with you on it. I'm giving you my opinion rather than lying to you.
Maybe you simply don't like the mattress.
Yeah. Well, it was. I could especially feel it when I came from Denver and came here because it really bothered because there was such a contrast in the mattress. And I finally had to measure everything: the box spring, the frame, and I come up with it was a mattress. I'm sleeping on a slope.
Maybe it's the gyrations, Tom.
Can you flip it,
Larry?
Or put a spacer?
A half-inch
slope. What I finally did.
Yeah.
No, it's too heavy to flip for myself. What I finally did is I lifted one side of the bed and put a 1/2 inch wedge underneath it.
You sure there's not a P under there somewhere?
No, I lifted I had the bed lifted and put a
right
1/2 inch wedge underneath
a mile above his head. That's a
on
princess
each side,
story.
Now it's level,
the
but I
P.
shouldn't, for paying $3,500 for a mattress, have to jack up the bed frame and put a 1/2 inch wedge.
That
on
is a
each
hell of a lot
side.
for a mattress.
What is $3,500?
$3,750.
Well, so what? I mean, it's.
Did you take any pictures?
All types of pictures.
I don't know what a picture would show. Here's the thing. I'm not going to make you document anything. I want to be serious here. I don't want, honest to God, Larry, I don't want to make fun of you. But
Okay.
I'm going to say this. There's no way. I know you're looking for a reason, therefore you're hanging on this 1/2 inch. But there's no way that 1/2 inch is going to contribute this much misery to your back pain. I mean, what's wrong with your back? Do you have a diagnosis?
Yeah, I'm 75 years old, and I have arthritic deterioration in the lower back. And that's
Here's
why
the
I buy
deal.
these expensive mattresses.
I think Mark was correct in saying you just don't like the mattress. So I understand you're trying to find a defect so it's replaced. But I'm not.
$1/2 inch, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want no money back. I just like.
Another
For
mattress.
$3,500, I shouldn't have to jack up the frame and put a 1/2 inch.
You don't
wedge
have to jack
underneath.
up. You don't have to jack up the frame.
I did.
Yeah, but you didn't have to. What I'm saying, Larry, it's not going to help you one way or the other. Do you understand? I mean, really, I'm trying. I'm just trying. If you were my dad or well, you're actually old enough to be my brother here. I would say to you, man, don't. I don't know what to tell you, Larry. I think you're concentrating too much on it. I don't think another bed will make a difference about your back pain and your misery. I don't know what to tell the poor guy. How about this, Larry? Are there overlays you can get? You know those those memory foam tops you can put over a mattress? Now they automatically adjust. So if there was a slope, your body would automatically I mean, it would make it adjust. Have you heard of those? They're like 2 or 3 inches thick. Have you seen them?
I probably did. No, I fixed it by lifting the frame and putting wood wedges, a 1/2-inch wood wedge on the left side of the mattress, and now the mattress is even, and it's fine. It's just you don't believe that a person could be bothered by a 1/2-inch slope. And
no, not that much.
That's the only reason why I went through all this gyration.
Yeah, I know. But this is my opinion. Larry, this is my opinion. We're talking about a 1/2 inch. I mean, a 1/2 inch, for God's sakes, on something that's pliable and soft. I mean, you can jump on it and shift it and probably get that 1/2 inch to fluff up. I mean, it's that. I can't help him. I can't. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to fight for a replacement mattress. I can't do it, Larry. I can't. I mean, does anyone have an opinion on this? I think you get a pillow top, take all those wedges out of there. Not a pillow top, that memory foam top.
I'm astonished that that mattress, just the mattress, cost $37.50. I'm astonished by it. I had no idea they were that much.
Did that come with the box spring and everything, or just the mattress?
Yes, that's the total price with the box spring and everything.
And the headboard?
Not a headboard, a frame, right?
No, it's the mattress and box spring, $3,500. Tempur-Pedic, Cloudy Leak, mattress, queen, prime.
A lot of Mark, they're expensive nowadays. You know the ones that come in a small package now?
Casper.
You know, and I bought one. They roll up. They're in a small package, about yay big.
They're as good as the big ones, right?
Oh my God! And then you let them out, and then over a day they fill up with air. Naturally.
Yeah.
Cells fill in, and they're very comfortable, and they're perfectly cut.
How much was it?
That was about $120.
Yeah, they're cheap.
And they're good. Now, Gary was rear-ended by an Uber. Uh-oh, that can be dangerous. Now, our Matt is going to leave. John's going to stay with us. We've been talking about My Money Evolution. If we have to get a message across, it's really talking about what I talked about before. In an orchestra or with your money, you're not going to add instruments. You don't have to add musicians. You just have to make them all play together the best way. One of them is by reducing the compound interest that you pay. And the other one is by looking for compound interest to earn. And then there's taxes. So you mentioned about a lot of people have 401ks, and they should be thinking about getting out of them because eventually they're going to have to pay taxes. And there might be a cheap way out before that.
Yeah, not out of them, but converting them.
Converting them.
Yeah.
And the purpose of converting them is what?
Is because you can take advantage of taxes right now because Trump cut them.
He cut them on converting.
And he cut taxes in general on income.
Right.
And he gave you higher standard deductions, and so they're temporary. They reset in 2026, so you have an opportunity now to take advantage.
So if you have a lot of money sitting in a 401k,
you can take
you're
advantage.
saying you're going to have to pay tax anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
But pay it when it's lower. Because are you betting they're only going to be higher?
Well, what are you saying? I mean, if you have the opportunity to buy your partner out at 12%,
your
15%,
partner meaning the IRS, right?
Yeah, and basically you're removing taxes in the future, so you remove tax risk.
And even though it feels like you're taking a hit, you're simply paying the taxes now at a lower rate than you will have to pay in the future.
They're great vehicles to get you up into retirement. They're just not great to get you through because of the taxation on them. So why not take advantage of the Trump tax code? That's one of the things we'll be teaching on the back end.
On how to convert stuff now and take lower taxes now.
Anybody can do it. Anybody can take advantage of the new Trump tax code.
Okay, so when you take advantage of the taxes now, what about those who say, well, even though the rate might be higher later on, I'll be making less money later on?
That you believe that? I mean, seriously, if people think they're going to retire to a lower tax bracket, I think that's I mean, again, you might, but that shouldn't be what your goal is.
Your goal is to make as much money as possible.
And you should. And the reality is it's probably not going to be the case. Now, you can control every cent you pay in tax later on. You just have to learn how to plan for it.
But that's a novel approach. I've never heard of that before. Taking your retirement money now and deciding what should be converted now, paying today's rate instead of tomorrow's rate.
Or what can we do now to accumulate wealth that will be tax-free later on in life? So you have two ways to go about it, is how to create tax-free money down the road and how to convert taxable money that you're going to pay tax on and convert it to tax-free money. And the math works.
Okay,
you just have to understand it.
So 2 things now I'm hearing. How to eliminate compound interest and how to pay less taxes.
Yeah, here's a simple way to say it. Pay simple, earn compound. If you pay simple interest your whole life and you're in compound, you're going to come out a lot better. And if you can avoid taxation on it, it's even better.
All right, so mymoneyevolution.com. It's coming up, isn't it this week?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
It's this Thursday. Holy crap.
Yeah, we're going, man.
Hey, Tom, most people need a better conductor.
Yeah, for their orchestra. They don't need more instruments.
That's right. And the other thing you said, I just want to say this. You're so right about trying to just sell a product. That's someone who's just looking at it a silo. You need an advocate.
And there's nothing wrong with any individual product, but they have to be done in concert. That's the idea. No one is telling you how to do it in concert with all the rest of the stuff. That's why we're not calling this, buy this now. It's mymoneyevolution.com. And by the way, just so you know, before you say I'm not making a dime on it, I'm going to be there to learn just like you. We got more coming right up.
It's got to be very simple like this. I know you're thinking it's too simple, but it's got to be. We got to be that simple.
I'm all about simple. Trust me. This presentation is so simple.
Are you guys going to record it? Well, I've got a few people asking if I can't get that far.
See you guys. Thank you.
See you Thursday.
I assume this is a scam, but I just got this.
Make sure you record it, because I've got a couple people going. We're too far away.
Forecast. It's sunny today, warmer than yesterday, a high of 48. Tonight mostly clear overnight with a low of 26. Right now, mostly cloudy and 37. With the traffic in West.
Is that just a scam?
Yeah.
So I redid it and I'm getting mad.
Well, it's a cold call. I mean, I got that call too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want
I
to call
called the attorney for the dog bite. That attorney gave the caller my cell phone number. I can't believe he would do that. I'm just trying to figure an easy way for attorneys to get a hold of me.
So what did he say, though? Is he sending over?
Apparently he's going to be calling.
Can you send something to sell something through mine, because I don't care. I just drop people off.
I got master test. What I have to look forward to: missing work, pain, missing vacations, not being able to do stuff around the house, and who pays? Well,
say it again.
I got master tech this time.
That's the way the system works. Now, you may think, I don't want to sue.
Yeah, but it's at the first 3 always the same.
Someone you should talk to. It's free of charge.
What did you serve?
If he takes the case, it's only payable if he wins, and it's a small percentage of what he collects. If someone is irresponsible,
you got to wait a couple minutes though, because it is a lot.
I went back to home.
That's what it's all about. Why should you be the one
we don't have to go all the way home. You can do it right here.
Okay, well, I just said like that.
I'm saying you don't have to go to your house and do it. You can do it right here.
Oh, okay.
303-597-4500.
I was in mine, my mind was so here it came up the same. So it must be a time limit.
It is. It's usually like a minute or two.
Okay.
Try it again in a minute or two.
Do I gotta go home?
Yes.
Your money, your retirement, Saturdays at 2
You
p.m.
do.
on 630 KL. The current bull market
Hey,
began in
what's that
March
called in your
2004,
auto insurance? You should always have they'll pay you
August
15
MedPay?
MedPay.
So, how long
I'm having to deal with
no
that.
one knows.
UM too. I got who do you have?
Wasn't working. We had 2
How come you don't quote through Compass?
10 years
Oh,
in this
they were
country.
A big change.
You're in a unique position. Because is your kid still on yours? Yeah, that's what I mean. You should be. Is your driving record good?
Personalized retirement
Listen,
program.
you've seen
I'm
me drive.
spotless.
I'm spotless. I'm without spots.
I'm literally spotless.
It's been over 3 years. I think if you're over 3 years,
Like 7.
I don't think it matters. I think 3 years is the.
Really? So if I ran over and killed 20 people in New York City during a parade 8 years ago, my insurance would be the same price as if nothing happened in 3 years.
One you had.
You're wrong.
The nicest private hangar front range is the one you had.
I love when he makes general statements that make no sense.
Did you get a quote?
Well,
At least for traffic tickets.
it was a weird.
You're our simple three
It's a reset.
Was it? I didn't know what it went for.
Some are 5 years.
Somehow it,
Well, when you take DUI, that thing was worth.
Our med pay was, I want to say we got 15,000.
6 or 7. It
Denver
was
is a
beautiful.
perfect market.
I think you go up to 20 stairs off the back. Everything was beautiful. That was really done well.
I'll tell you the other thing we got, and man, it is paid for itself, and it does
Well,
not
the guy that
affect
built those
your
cars,
normal
he
rates.
built it for himself.
Windshield.
I mean,
My windshield cost me $50. My windshield was $2,200.
I got you the bylaws and the covenants. Do you want me to let the guy go? Or just hang him? They're in your email? 'Cause I'm sure that was a lot to print.
Uninsured and underinsured costs. I mean, it's the bylaws, it's full coverage. Full coverage would bring
No, but uninsured, you definitely want. You definitely want both those.
Well, full coverage would cover it also.
No, they
I'm
wouldn't.
just gonna help to give you some time.
It would cover your damage. What this is for, let's say they hit you, they don't have insurance, and you're fucking in a wheelchair the rest of your life. Whatever your limit is on here, 500,000, is what your own insurance company would be paying. Full coverage is just going to be on for your car. If they can't pay for your car to be fixed, yours would kick in.
Setbacks, healthcare, and taxes.
Is that roadside? $15, yeah, why not?
Hit a wall right now. I need a miracle. Hurry up now. I need a miracle.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. This is simplyfloorsinc.com, the place to go to save money on floor coverings. It's that simple at simplyfloorsinc.com. 50-second reward. If you have a bid, take it over there. If you want a bid, they'll come to your home. You make your own appointment at simplyfloorsinc.com for all the popular floor coverings with routine savings of 20%, can go as high as half off. Well, it depends on the floors, of course. And, of course, Buddy Mitchell and his team are forthright, honest, and great people to deal with. We send all our friends and family, and that's simplyfloorsinc.com. So we're talking about a lot of good stuff today, but what about when it comes to voting in an HOA? What votes are allowed to be proxy? Which votes do you have to be in person? It's all determined by bylaws. It's as easy as that, and we're going to go over those bylaws or have our attorney look at them too. Mark?
I don't like proxy voting in general, and here's why. One person could go out.
And we know they do it.
Yeah, that's right, and get everybody else's proxy, and that one person could ultimately control everything.
And it's happening. It's happening.
They could control whether or not proxy votes are allowed once they hold all the proxy votes.
Mark, you're right. At Pantera Plaza, one woman, literally, and I got out of there, one woman had so many proxies, she determined the board, she determined the decorations, she determined the decor, she determined everything. Everything. It's her. And guess what? So now you think, there was one guy there that wanted to go out and say to the proxies, listen, just take a look at what's going on. Okay, so he couldn't get a mailing list. She made it illegal. So you can't get a mailing list. So therefore, you can't contact. You would literally have to stand there and try to talk to everyone, or hand out pamphlets. You can't do that. So you're right. Once you have the proxies, it's like a dictator. You can stay in power. Now, I'm not saying it's to the detriment of the place, but I'm saying no one person should have that much power. So therefore, no one can vote her out. No one can vote her board out. No one can change anything. No one, because she holds the votes. And you can't contact those people because she's made them sealed. So you are literally at the mercy of one person. One person. And that can happen with any association if proxies are allowed and they don't automatically expire. Now, I think that each HOA is different. I think if they allow proxies, there should be a term, like they expire after a certain amount of time. And then you have to go out and get them again. But I don't ever think that an individual should be barred from communicating with the body. And the way you do that is through a newsletter and let everyone have access to it if they want to address the body. There's nothing wrong with that. It's freedom of expression. Okay, so let's keep going. 303-713-TALK. Gary, what happened to you, Gary? Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, Sunday night I was on my way home. I was a passenger in an Uber cab. It got rear-ended. The cops were on call. They exchanged information. But then I can't get the insurance information for the guy that hit us. And the Uber cab driver won't give up any information. He goes, you could get it off my account. So my brother-in-law, sister-in-law...
Wait, why wouldn't Gary, why wouldn't the Uber driver give you information on the people that hit you?
He goes, you could get it off my account. I said, I need it now.
What do you mean? Wait a minute. Account. First of all, you don't need it now, okay? So relax. So why get it off his account?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Gary, you don't need the information immediately. You have, I think, 2 or 3 years. You don't. There's no rush. Well, yes.
I think he's wanting the Uber driver's insurance info, not the guy that hit them.
He said the guy that hit them.
And the guy that hit me. Yeah, because
he wants both. Well, pardon me.
Yeah, he let me take a picture of his license plate. He gave me his name. I got the make of the car, but I don't got his insurance information.
You're talking about the guy that hit you.
Yes.
I got to make a leap here, though. Why? You didn't go to the hospital. I mean, what do you want it for?
I went to the doctor yesterday. I got a nice little whiplash.
So you are injured?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're injured, then you have a right to get that information. But you already have the driver's information, so you don't need his insurance. If you have the driver's... Wait a minute. That's the person you go after. You don't go after their insurance company. They take it to their insurance company. Why do we get this screwed up? Why do people feel they have a right to go after the other person's insurance company? There is no contractual agreement between you and that other person's insurance company.
No, but he's got an agreement with Uber when he signs that app saying that he realizes he's covered in that vehicle.
But we're talking about two different things. I'm talking about the other party.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay. You're not going to go after the insurance company. You go after them.
So Gary, you have a number of people to go after. You ready? You have Uber. Yes. You have Uber. You have the Uber driver. And you have the other party. Now, we may, in our acceptance of Uber's terms and conditions, I have never read them and I accepted them. So for all I know, they have a right to come to my house on Christmas Eve and kick me in the ass. But anyway, I signed up for that, and I may have agreed that if I am injured, that I agree to just not go after anybody but Uber, or not to go after Uber but the driver. I don't know what the agreement says. So that all depends on that. But no matter what, you do the shotgun approach. You go after Uber, you go after the Uber driver, and you go after the other driver. You do not have to go after any insurance company at all. So right now, you should be happy. I have just solved your problem. You have the name of the guy, you have his license. Now what you do is you either go to an attorney if it's serious, or if it's minor stuff, you start getting covered, and you start keeping track and go to small claims court if it's not that big. Now, what about your insurance? Do you have a car?
No, no.
Okay, then it doesn't matter. Then it doesn't matter. Yeah. So, Gary, how much do you feel your bills are going to be?
I'm not too sure. It was just a quick checkup yesterday at the emergency, Rose Emergency. And
there's also something. There's also I don't want to fan the fire, but there's also something called pain and suffering, and that is general overall misery and discomfort and all of that.
Yeah.
But I am not trying to encourage any false claims. I am just saying this is what you have. You have a number of different options. Okay. So the first thing I would do is consult an attorney.
I'd call John Fuller.
Yes, I would. John Fuller, just to consult him, because he is very, very smart when it comes to that kind of stuff. And you ask questions. In fact, anyone in an accident where there are injuries, you can call him with any questions you want. 303-597-4500. Suzanne can repeat that for you if you want. Now, Grant is one of our referral list members. He does window cleaning, and he has a comment on that mattress call. Go ahead, Grant. The guy called saying he disliked his mattress. He's had it for a couple years, but he finally figured out, he said, what is causing him all this pain in his back. He has arthritis, and he says there was a ½ inch slope on the mattress from side to side, which he said caused him extreme discomfort. I kind of disagree with that, but go ahead, Grant. What are you saying?
So I've had a Tempur-Pedic for the last 12 years.
Yes.
In those 12 years, I've had 4 replacements.
4 replacements in 12 years?
Yep, that's the warranty. So I've actually you do exactly what he said. You put a ruler across, and then if it's any larger than a quarter, I believe, the dip, you put a quarter in between the mattress and the ruler.
Yeah.
And if it's larger, if that quarter can fit in between there, it's a warranty issue, and they should warranty him a new one.
So why didn't they?
I don't know. I've got the warranty, and I do it every 3 years or so. So
if it actually says that about a quarter and all that, then I'm wondering why they turned him down, and they did not turn you down.
I don't know. I got mine 12 years ago, so maybe it was a different warranty.
Well, could you do me a favor? We'd like to compare the warranties. Yes, Suzanne?
Maybe it wasn't registered or something. A lot of times you have to register your product.
Yeah, but they can't deny you warranty for that. They can only make you register it. You do have to prove, though, that you bought it, where you bought it, and the date you bought it if you didn't register it. So, Grant, if you could do us a favor and send us a copy of your warranty, I'd love to look into that. Artofgranite.net. Mitch Floria is the owner. Artofgranite.net. What he does is he charges only wholesale for materials. All materials except cabinets, of course. Then you pay a small markup from the manufacturer. But when it comes to materials, the stone, he's a direct stone importer. So no matter what stone you get, a lot of people are getting quartz now. But if you get, for example, you get like granite, or you get quartz, or you get marble, or you get limestone, or whatever you get wholesale. And it's not marked up at all. In fact, he tears out and hauls away free. And you know what else he does? He also does the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. 303-386-5919. Look at his beautiful work, artofgranite.net. And here's the big deal. You'll get a price on the phone because he believes in doing business straight without any kind of reservation. You get a price on the phone. 303-386-5919.
You made any progress on the car wash call? It ruined his,
Yeah, get his mirror. We never got a phone number for him.
Did it rip his mirror off?
Yeah, it's downstairs.
I did have his phone number.
Okay, I'm looking at a few things.
Do we have an update that I could put him on the air for?
No, because I couldn't even call him to get the stuff from the car wash.
I am so sorry, Clint. Okay.
Oh, I've got a good update whenever. I've got a real good one.
If only one of the multiple owners.
If you're talking about the monogram one?
I'm talking about from, oh, that's a great one, too.
Yeah, no, but she wants me to call her in the morning.
Okay.
For tomorrow's show, so hold off on that.
See, I handle stuff, buddy.
He gets it done. He's fake.
No, I got the one from Friday with Pete Kia.
With Pete Kia?
You got the
Or
granite.
no, Arapahoe Kia.
You got the granite thing. Someone settled that for
I don't know what's wrong with that. I have no idea.
So after you talked about the proxies, I have no idea if I'm supposed to let Duke go or not.
If the lot is owned by more
Because
than one.
now he has
It's
questions
only talking about proxies for people.
Because he also had questions about something to do with the budget.
But
I hate HOA
each
calls.
lot shall only have one vote
They're
allocated.
the worst. They are so
Hey, so we have HOA, Sam, HOA now, is that his name?
Stan.
Stan. We don't have a direct number for him? He doesn't.
Well, we do. He travels a lot. A lot.
Facebook, right?
I know. I understand the mattress thing now.
I call him when Tom tells me.
It doesn't really talk about.
All right, Dad. Here it is.
What's for the mattress?
If you put a string across there, you put a quarter under there. A quarter's about an inch. His was only off a half inch. An inch.
No.
I thought you meant the thickness.
On edge.
Oh, no way, an edge, boy, that'd be really.
And you'll see.
An edge. That's what I thought it was.
No, I pretty well thought it was.
I think he meant a quarter inch. That's what I thought. Quarter inch. But you think he meant a
Ask
quarter?
him what he meant.
That's a good one. That's it.
I thought he meant
Let's get that guy.
on
Let's get
edge.
that window cleaner back. I need to ask him a question.
Yeah, a quarter, that would be far.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
That's over a
proxies
half,
here.
right?
And what? Yeah, a quarter.
I mean,
It'd be about
that
almost
is,
that. Did he send the agreement? I don't have the agreement.
Exactly what?
My thumb is exactly.
It says,
Send me the agreement. Rule of thumb.
Really? I don't see anywhere that
Rule of thumb.
Is that what it is, an inch?
That's exactly an inch. I can't remember which one, but once I think my left arm more.
Because of a jam. No, seriously, a jam finger usually doesn't go down anymore.
I had one cut off and sewed back on.
70% of what you borrow back to the bank in excessive interest. Take AIM, affordable interest mortgage, 720-895-0500. Faster, pay simple interest and save
Pointing
thousands
at
of
something in an engine, the fan was, I
dollars.
never forgot that noise.
Ting! With home value,
Well, damn it, I mean, ting! I went, what the hell was that? And I looked at my fingers and it
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Picked it up, took it in this, used to be called Denver General back then.
Did you take it and crack a bit of the dock box?
And MLS 299.
No,
Rice? That's what, who took appendage in a Cracker Jack box?
A what?
Took an appendage in a Cracker Jack box and went and threw it back on.
I put mine in a glass of milk.
Bob.
First of all, this is an milk. Milk. I put milk.
Took the pinky toe.
Oh, I thought that was Lorraine Bobbitt.
Problem. He sent me only the
She cut it off, threw it in a dumpster behind 7-Eleven. They found it and brought it back.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I put it in a glass of milk. I went down to Denver General, and a little guy from India, it was his second day as an intern. Sewed it back on. He did beautiful.
You super glue?
No, he sewed it off.
On your appendage?
Yeah, my appendage. He sewed my appendage back on. Do you remember what Mr. Bobbitt did after that happened to make money?
Porn.
Porn, didn't
Yeah, they became a porn star.
because they sold a horse one.
Oh, now I get it. So did, who's the other one that got into porn? She did. Lorraine, I think. No, I'm thinking of the one where the woman that was having the affair. God, what is her name?
I just think
A young girl having an affair with a married man, and the wife shoots her.
Amy Fisher.
Fisher became a porn star. That's right.
Amy Fisher?
Amy Fisher and whatever his name was. What was his name? Bottalucci or something.
Yeah. I always like the irony.
Never mind, I got it.
Bobbed off was Bobbitt. Bobbitt.
Yeah, Amy Fisher. I gotta look up his name.
Right? Bobbitt.
That lady was angry with him.
You think?
Joey Buttafuoco.
Yeah, oh yeah.
How do we possibly forget Joey Buttafuoco?
I love that guy. He was like Andrew Dice Clay's real brother.
An iHeart radio station.
Marry Joe Buttafuoco.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Integra Insurance is a place everyone should be calling. Everyone should be calling because it's open enrollment till January 15th. They can help you buy your health insurance either on the exchange or now you're allowed to go off the exchange and there are no penalties. IntegraInsurance.com. Contrary to what people think, there is still a law that says you have to have health insurance. IntegraInsurance.com. They are the ones making it smart and simple. Your choice. And they don't charge you a dime. They get paid a commission from insurance carriers. And trust me, if you go direct, you don't save the commission. There's no such thing as direct savings. So you basically get this service free. 303-466-5500. 466-5500. IntegraInsurance.com. Okay, listen, we were confused about this mattress thing. The guy said he had a ½ an inch slope from one end to the other. Then we had a guy call in, Grant, a friend of ours on the referral list, and he said he's had 3 replacements so under this warranty. And he said all he had to do was measure it and send it in to them. But Grant, we each heard something different. You said a quarter. Some people think you mean an actual physical quarter. Other people think you mean a quarter of an inch. And then if you do mean a quarter, do you mean a quarter standing on end or a quarter flat and the width of a quarter? What are you talking about?
So I'm talking about the actual on end. So you turn that quarter on end and put it between the ruler and the mattress.
Okay, well his mattress doesn't come close to that. Doesn't come close.
Yeah.
It's only a ½ inch.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough. But, I mean, the problem with that is even if it doesn't seem like it's very much, when you get in that bed, it sinks down way low, and it'll mess your back up quicker than...
And it's the same bed. You have the same bed.
Tempur-Pedic, yep.
Yeah, but hold on. The measurement is done without laying in the bed, though, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you just lay a ruler across. You take everything off of it. You take the cover off,
Okay.
you unzip the little protective thing, so you just have the bare mattress down to bare bones. Put a ruler across it, and then if you can scan a quarter...
When you say put a ruler across it, a ruler will not go across a mattress.
A long ruler.
A straight edge, basically.
Or a broomstick or anything straight, yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. And if there is, from one end to the other, the width of a quarter standing on end, they will replace it.
Yep, you send the... you have to have your warranty, so it does have to be registered and everything, so...
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Grant. Let's call that guy back with the mattress, or I hope he's still listening. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So a half an inch is going to be too small, but it might be able to do it. Now, Duke, you know, our attorney said that he cannot legally interpret this as legal advice, but he can give his first impression. And I can give my impression, which is not legal advice. I am giving you what's called a reader's advice, meaning what do I read? Not what does it mean legally, but what do I read? And it says very clearly, first of all, they changed it from a quorum only has to be 10%, not 20%. That was an amendment. Who cares? But when they talk about proxies, they really only talk about proxies in two places. They really do. One is for the election of the board. It's very clear that for the meetings that it's 20%, or now it's 10% of the votes. There has to be at least enough people to cast 10% of available votes. So if there are 1,000 members, there would have to be 100 votes. And 100 members, there would have to be 10 votes. And it says for the election of the board of directors. It does not say any other item. That's the only time proxies are mentioned. It also says that proxies can be used when there are multiple owners of a lot, and they come to an agreement, only one vote per lot, but they can use a proxy to say what their other owners want, and then come to one vote for that lot. But we're not giving you legal advice. But if I was to read this, I would not assume that proxies could be there all the time.
Okay, where did you find that? Because I did a search in the document and I can't find anything.
Okay, in the very, very first paragraph of the agreement, it says proxies. Okay, so I can't help you, man. The very first page of what you sent me talks about a quorum, and it says 10% of the votes which may be cast in the election of the board of directors. That's it.
Okay.
It doesn't. No, don't say okay and then say, well, I better not fight this because. And he just hung up. Oh, no, he didn't. Is he there? No. Yeah, don't take this as legal advice. I'm telling you my impression, and that of our attorney is simply. It doesn't mention proxies anywhere else.
What happens if it doesn't mention proxies at all? Can you even have a proxy vote?
You know, I don't know, Mark, because then you get...
Are they assumed?
But then, well, here's the thing. Then you get into the argument, are they really the proxy of the person? How do you prove it? So I would say it would default to no proxies. That's what I would think, but I'm not... Again, go ahead.
It does mention proxies in the covenants. How do the covenants come into play?
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't read that.
That's interesting. You could have two things offsetting.
But no, because covenants have nothing to do with what he's talking about, have nothing to do with the yearly fees.
Right. Well, it's under special assessments and the covenants.
Yeah, but that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about regular monthly fees are not covered by the covenant. I don't care what they say about proxies. They're about covenant issues.
Right.
I mean,
so am I wasting my time by
first of all, let's get right to it, okay? What are you trying to accomplish? You're trying to save $15 a month. Is that true?
Well, we're trying to vote down a 30% increase in monthly fees.
It's $15. It's $15. Okay.
Right, and then next year it's $15.
Well, Duke, then here's what you do. What you do, in my opinion, I think you're wasting your time, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because that's my opinion, not a legal opinion. I think you're wasting your time because I don't think that they would do it if they were breaking the HOA covenants. Excuse me, bylaws. I don't think so. But here's the other thing. You're only going to save $15. If your concern is then another 15 and another 15, then what you need to do is run for the board or get other people to run for the board. That's what you do. That's how you take control of an HOA.
Okay, can I ask you one other question?
But here's the wonderful thing about that. You better listen to me carefully. The wonderful thing about that is it only requires 10% to have a quorum. If you get people there, literally, listen to this. If you get proxies and get about 100 people or less, I mean, how many people are there? How many voting members are there?
A little over 400.
400. If you get what? 40 people? 40 people. You're talking about you could run this place with no proxies, plus have them get proxies. You could kill.
They're betting on the apathy of people. That's what they're doing. It must be so apathetic that they only require 10%. Can you believe that? 10% of the vote?
Is the quorum usually a lot higher than HOAs? I don't know what the average
What's that?
is. Is the quorum usually a lot higher than that for HOAs?
Oh my God! Sometimes it's a third.
Has the left lane blocked. Backups all the way to Northwest Parkway. Pack your patience on that.
You're right.
Today with a high near.
No, they're not hoping. They're dealing with that reality.
So Hitler's sister came.
In other words, they couldn't get anything passed.
Once again, even warmer.
Yeah.
With a high near 58.
Unless
Right
Hitler's
now,
sister takes
mostly
over.
cloudy in Denver and 37 with your traffic.
I mean, you're right by having Ron. People, I tell you, there's so many people in the community, they're always complaining, but they'll never step up and run the board.
There.
Oh,
Sorry
thank you.
about that, Clint. I
Thank
told
you.
you were going to give him a call.
Yep. I
look at it again, Mark, it changed again. It keeps on
I am
changing.
so thrilled we now have a chiropractor.
Do it with,
on the referral list
do me a
that
favor, do it with
adjustments.
heating and air
The entire
conditioning, same
industry
exact thing.
has been polluted by guys, once they become a chiropractor, they spend their career trying to not be a chiropractor.
throw that
They
guy
get
out.
into the supplements, the
Gold.
magic
It
lights,
says
and they
storage
get away from
unit
what
lease.
really made chiropractic adjustments. This is a family chiropractic.
I just put an
Dr.
HVAC,
Mike
right?
Pederscheid, Bright Light Chiropractic.
think we
Great
talked
guy,
about the
family
little
practice.
flow
I
of
went to
money
see him. I'm
into
so
bank
excited.
account.
He's got
Okay,
extras.
that's why you have
He also
5,000
has
in
this
there.
new
Might be
spinal
for
scanner
12
that
days.
identifies curvature and pressures
Somewhere
in the spine.
online
This
with the
hands-on
address of where that
evaluation,
thing is on
$50,
Thursday
and
night.
then the adjustments are only $50. And if you get a package of just 10 or more, you can get $35. Veterans are only
Here's something
$30.
Here's the same as
The HOA Act at section 72306 provides that members have the right, unless otherwise provided in their governing document, to vote person or proxy. So it looks like proxy is assumed unless it is changed out.
Okay.
Well, it says right here.
What is this? Florida. Your home.
Oh, yeah, you're right, it is. You're right. In Florida,
This is the HOA Act. I wonder, just look and see if Colorado has an HOA Act.
But in Florida, it's assumed. But it doesn't matter because they can change it.
There's a very good chance that they're all the same. You know what I mean? For ideal, they have the rate. If rates go down, they will refinance you free.
They're saying,
How do you validate approval? It's like a cash offer, already approved, not pre-qualified, approved. All you need is the approval. 303-867.
Yeah, it is. Here it is. Check it out. When it comes to HOA voting, this means that a unit or a homeowner may authorize someone else to represent them at the HOA. The primary authority for the legality of a proxy voting is stated in the state law. Colorado Common Interest Ownership Act.
Meaning what?
In a Colorado proxy voting, an HOAs is legal. That's what it says.
It's legal. It's not saying it's mandatory, Mark. It says
no, but I think it's assumed.
Well,
let me keep reading. Hold on.
No, why would it never said that?
Because it's not saying you can't do it.
Well, right. Yes, but it doesn't mean you have to.
Right. That's right.
Or,
That's right. Of course.
Or it doesn't say if you don't do anything, it's
right. It doesn't mean you have to allow it.
Yeah.
When a default process is implemented, abuse happens. That's exactly what I was saying. So unless if you go in and say, we're not going to use proxies, it's assumed that you can use a proxy.
And then what's the process of the proxy? Here's the problem.
You got to have a certain form. You got to have the dates and
they outlaw proxies for one thing only.
And I think they can do that. If they didn't actually outlaw it, then you could do it.
Well, Staples is aiming to fix that. Right now, you get 25%.
Still the best bus for them to run, right? It is.
Yeah.
Get off your ass and run. I'm serious. That's the biggest thing.
Receive 25% back in rewards.
Staples, there's a whole lot in store.
And you can see the kind of complaints you get.
You know what I want to do? I'm going to start using local music details.
Ask Alexa to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio.
Because it gets us a lot of listeners, Mark.
Yes,
for bumpers, local music.
Local music.
Yep, I used to do that. It got us a shitload of bands and singers. Yep. You invite them to send you stuff.
And then they promote it.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Joe Lazare is a criminal defense attorney that I recommend if you're ever in trouble. And I hope you don't get in trouble, and I hope you're not stupid enough to try to calculate what you're drinking before you drive. With Uber and Lyft, you don't have to do it. Joe Lazare, it's that simple. And he also can represent you with shoplifting and other things. And you know what? It doesn't mean you're convicted or you're guilty just because you get charged. 303-429-6200, 429-6200, Joe Lazare. We had a case one time where a guy went in. He was going to return something defective. It was a woman. She was returning defective lipstick. So here's what she was going to do. She had the receipt, and she had the lipstick. And she, instead of stopping at the counter, she had it in her purse. She was going to go pick up a lipstick, take it to the counter, take out the old one from her pocketbook or her purse along with the receipt and make the exchange. She picked up that lipstick and was on her way to checkout, and the guy said, "You have one in your purse." We don't know how he knew that. I mean, it was sticking out. It wasn't really hidden. And she says, "Yes, I'm returning this, and I'm getting the new one." And he said, "Well, they're not the exact same color. Why aren't you exchanging for the same thing?" She said, "Because I changed my mind about the color, but this is defective." And he said, well, it wasn't defective. She wanted a different color. That was the whole reason. Then he says, well, wait a minute. So he charged her with shoplifting. This was in Albertsons at the time. And here's what he surmised. This was his story, that she got a receipt from a previous purchase and brought it with her on purpose, along with the previous, she brought it with her on purpose so she could steal that lipstick, in other words. So she concealed it in her purse, and then she went and got a new one, and she, at the last minute, wasn't going to buy it, and she was going to walk out.
Are you going to tell me she hired Joe?
No. I'm going to tell you that it was the most ridiculous thing. We got it dismissed, but it was one of the many stupid charges that come up with shoplifting. David's got a comment on that mattress thing. Now, the guy said he had a half-an-inch slope from one side to the other, and he was pissed off that the mattress, what's the name of the mattress? Tempur-Pedic would not replace it. Go ahead. What's your comment, David?
Yeah, first of all, you just said something about shoplifting, whole nother story.
Yeah.
But, my gosh, yeah, I went through that where some guy put something in the bag. He cleared the other cashier. He was helping him. He walked away. Another cashier comes over. I check out, and the stuff's still in the bag, but that's for another time.
No,
anyway.
I'm serious. I mean, they get crazy sometimes on shoplifting. I would love to hear the story at another time. What about the mattress thing?
Yeah, exactly. I have a severe back problem due to major leg injury, so I just wanted to let him know what he can do is just temporarily compensate with a pillow and extra sheets.
Yeah,
and
he
everything
did. He
because,
did. Do you think a
what people
half an
don't
inch?
realize-
Wait a minute. Do you think a half an inch slope would make a big difference for you? Come on.
Well, it does sound crazy, but I'm telling you, my leg is about ½ inch to 1 inch over to the right, and that makes a huge difference. Then the spine tries to compensate. It moves out of, it moves back and forth, so you'd be surprised.
Okay, well, he is compensating. Maybe I made...
Their warranty says 3/4 of an inch. I'm reading it.
So he's 1/4 of an inch off. Doggone it. 303-713-TALK. We have more coming up with mymoney.evolution.com. I want you to stay tuned for that. And then we have some other very interesting calls, and we'll take them right after this.
Yep, that's what it says. 3/4 of an inch.
That's about 1/4 then 3/4, huh?
So by next year it'll be...
Oh, is it?
Hello?
I've never met
And
it.
bright light.
I don't have 1/4. I wish I had 1/4.
And that's why they told him to take all the pictures and send it in.
Yeah.
And then when they said it was a half,
But
it
why
falls
did-
out of warranty. But here's the good news. If it's a half now, it'll
next
probably
year-
go to 1/4.
Yeah, by next year.
Well, here's the other thing is, I'm sure you could take a picture and make it look like a...
I don't know why he doesn't just flip the damn mattress.
For you.
Unless it's a pillow top.
He said it's too
If
heavy.
he doesn't what?
Just flip it.
But what would difference would that make?
Well, okay,
Maybe
if
one
you
side.
flipped it and then reversed it, wherever that one slope would be at the opposite end where you'd never sleep. It
Or
wouldn't
maybe it's
matter.
just on one side.
Well, wait a minute. But if it slopes this way, Mark,
Yeah.
and you flip it,
And then you turn it. So you flip it and then turn it head to toe.
but there'll always be a flip. They're not square. If
Yeah,
they
but-
were square, you could do that and get the slope going that way. But if you think about it, they're rectangular, so no matter how you flip it, there's always going to be a
So I
side.
assume he's a normal person that sleeps on one side.
Yeah.
So if he sleeps on one side pointed one direction, if you turn it to the higher side, it's got to be better
If you're,
than the lower
if you're
side.
laying on the lower side or the higher side,
Either or.
Plus,
The opposite of whatever he's doing now.
it would just do the other. It would just. I don't see how it would make a difference. I don't.
I do. And if you flip it head to foot, it would move the whole
You
thing down.
can't do head to
That's
foot.
what
They're
I'm
not
saying.
square. But wait, why do you think it?
around?
You can go head to foot.
If they're not square, you can't.
End to end.
Yeah, you can. Of course you can.
This is the mattress, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fucking flip it. Here's the mattress.
Flip it.
Okay, flip it. Now you still have a slope, no matter how you look at it. You're not getting rid of a slope.
No, you're moving it though.
Yeah.
If where it
Of
is
course
is
you are.
bothering him,
Instead
you
of
just
sloping,
move it.
instead of sloping here,
Yeah.
instead of sloping one way, it's sloping the other. But you guys are.
You don't understand math.
Look, here. It's sloping this way, right? Now.
But it won't be a
turn it
half
down.
inch anymore.
It's gonna be sloping that way.
No, it won't be. It'll turn and
So
it'll
what
only be a
difference will
quarter.
it make if you have a slope over there or you have a slope over there?
Because when you flip it head to foot, the slope is probably...
It'll move by a quarter.
Look,
It'll move, I think it'll move down the foot.
it does. The slope is the whole fucking mattress.
But when you turn it and then spin it head to foot, it'll change by a quarter.
Now I realize you're gaslighting because people are stupid, and I can't stand it.
I think the sink is...
Right? Come on, John.
Just spin it.
I think it's... My thought, what you're saying...
You move it head to foot.
And then if you flip it to one each day,
Wouldn't it
and
have
then
the
it's
sag where you're laying?
Not if you flip it head to foot.
If you flipped it head to foot, though, the slope, I'm saying, would be down by your feet.
Me and you are on the same page.
Yeah.
My only point was it would change it. Maybe it's better.
But if you flipped it, if you did this one night and then go the other night, it'd be even himself out every 2
Plus
days.
he,
It'd be even.
no, plus he jacked up that one side, right? So if you did flip it, what would that do? It would
Double
change
hard
to a
to
half
do.
inch.
It'd be double. Well, I'm sure you could measure it.
6 back surgeries later, I can't sleep on a mattress.
What do you sleep on?
I have to sleep on a couch.
And make you feel like a better
I have to have my back against
That's
the
it. Oh, like, like a recliner?
No, laying down. But when you're laying down, my back is against the back of the couch. And I don't hurt.
Like right here?
Just laying sideways, the back of the couch, your back's against that back.
Oh, I see what you're
Why don't you
saying.
just put a board down the center of your bed, sleep along the headboard.
Yeah, but if you turn the couch like this.
Oh, yeah, then I could roll over. You can't roll over when it's
You have as much.
You have to get up and turn to the other end at night. You can't roll over on a couch. Yeah, and I got to move the dog who's laying on my feet.
If it's not square, you can't turn it head to toe. That part didn't make any sense. Of course you can.
We know.
What he meant was you can't turn it 90.
Yeah.
Well, you could. It just wouldn't fit in the frame.
Just have a guy go side to side. How tall is he? Maybe he's a short guy. You can just
You're right. He could go side to side.
lay like this
I want to get into it,
versus
but my
like
dad,
this.
forever, under the head of the bed, has had a brick under those two levels. So that
He likes the slope.
He likes the slope, but the head's up.
My next mattress, I'm getting
okay.
adjustable.
Yeah, he's had a brick under that for
I like the foam.
30 years.
I'm serious.
I might get a foam, but I'm getting an adjustable bed.
I got one though, yeah. You don't use as much as you think.
Well, I'll tell you when I use it. If she snores, I hit one button, you just barely move, and they quit snoring.
Judy,
Why don't you
unfortunately,
just
wears
give her the elbow?
Give her the old elbow.
Judy, unfortunately, has to wear the
Oh, you're up.
You know the
I think you were snoring. Beat her up. I think you were snoring.
Oh, shut up. I don't want to fucking hear it. I saw you trying to think.
We did determine if you, even if it's not square, if he overdid the mattress on the far sides, he'd be fine. Turn it just 90 degrees, not head to toe.
Or he could lay side by side. He's a short fellow.
So you don't think logic. You have taken logic and thrown it out.
The most boring calls is clearly funny.
You want logic with the bathwater.
That guy's pissing. He spent 3 hours taking pictures of his mattress.
Oh, God, he kept talking about it.
If you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by Buy and Build. Buying building supplies for your home for under wholesale, way under the big box prices. Hey, this is where we tell you what to do, how to do it, where to do it, when to do it, why to do it. And we have My Money Evolution in the house. We'll talk about that briefly. Here it is. Buyandbuild.net, 4800 Washington Street. Save money. Plumbing fixtures, I would say a tenth of the price that you find anywhere else. Well, not all the time. But that means like 10 times savings with plumbing fixtures, lighting fixtures. God, lighting fixtures have incredible markups. And that's another story right there, markups. Also, they do granite, and they do cabinets, and they do floor coverings like, hardwoods and laminates and engineered flooring. Buyandbuild.net. Go see them. Buyandbuild.net, 4800 Washington Street. Speaking of pricing, I had somebody said, how dare you mention something was too expensive? And then I talked about the markup on light fixtures. And listen, we don't really condemn pricing on this show unless we call it egregious. But this guy says, look, I heard you beat up a car dealer for charging $5,000 on that car. You know, that car was worth $500. And he says, I'm suggesting that you step away from getting into the price is too high types of situations. It's just unfair. And also, you don't know the rest of the story. Even allowing the dealer to call in and give their side is still not enough. We and you should never make the judgment that a caller paid too much. In general, by the way, this is my comment now. In general, I kind of agree with that, but listen to this. Just too many unknowns. Once you go down that path, it opens up a nightmare of wrong possibilities and damage to business. For example, people on your referral list charge higher price than other places because of insurance, backing up their products, higher quality, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, he's right. But it could be said that they are gouging. Plus, it allows people with buyer's remorse to call your show and get revenge. So stop and let those calls go. Sure, if it makes good radio, but it does damage. Thank you, Dave. So I agree and disagree, okay? I think he's right in general. You really can't judge pricing in a lot of cases, but I think sometimes you can.
Well, and there's also a lot of blame to the consumer that doesn't shop around.
And I never say that's an excuse to get out of a deal. I never do. What I say is, if you're proud of this, this is what I said to our Apokia. If you're proud of that deal, then I'll publicize it.
Hey, I've got a good update on that.
What is it?
Well, they took it back in as trade. Okay, you're going to say, I know, okay, then they did it again. No. They kept the same payments, basically the same terms, got her a new car that she is very happy with, and have a warranty on there. Her payments did not change. Basically,
How much owed? Did it change how much she owed? What did she actually give?
It's a good equity deal. Someone got involved for us.
Okay.
They
all right.
You know.
All right, good.
So Arapahoe Kia came through.
Okay. Here's the deal, though. Is it fair to talk about things being too much? I think so.
Hell yeah.
I think there is a point where it's ridiculous. Now, it's hard to say, but it is. Like let's just say, for example, somebody had a faucet changed out, and they paid $3,000. I would say, for a normal faucet, I would say that's too much.
The biggest one we get, and it doesn't matter really what company, a toilet.
Toilets, yeah.
We get it all the time. I mean, I just paid $1,200 for a toilet. I saw one in Home Depot for $80.
And water heaters. Now, you know, God, so there are things. Now, My Money Evolution, one of the main things they're going to do at the seminar is show you, first, how to convert your home to simple interest. And then how to use money in a bank that normally sits there to earn what? How much interest, John? John is with us. John Clays.
Less than 1%.
No, now. But if they do it with this, if they do it with the My Money Evolution, and by the way, you guys don't have a bank. You're talking about if they do the plan, there is a way to keep your checking account, your regular checking account, earning about what?
Well, it's basically saving interest, so the interest is going against.
Yeah, but that's in essence earning money. So what is the interest?
Average, the interest is whatever you're paying on your current.
I hate to get real.
So what? Like 4 or 5%?
It's different for everybody.
Right,
but yeah,
it is different. But okay, it's as low as 3%, I would say, and as high as 6%.
What you're saving, yes, so you're essentially yielding.
So that money is offsetting mortgage interest.
Correct.
Okay, so like you said, depending on what you're paying for mortgage interest. And then the other thing we're going to talk about is whether or not to convert qualified money now to take advantage of the tax rate now.
Yes, because of the Trump tax laws, and you can write off more. They give you more of the, you don't have to
the deductions.
And there's a clock ticking on that.
Yeah, but not everyone. See, if truly you're going to have way low taxes in the future, way low income, and if you don't do things right, you'll have way low income, then you don't want to convert. But here's the point. Most everyone, their income is not going to be way low. The tax is going to get higher. So that idea of people putting away money in a qualified plan to grow tax-free, that's a good idea. But once you get to retirement, the idea that taxes are going to be real low then, even though you're in a lower tax bracket, the taxes have gotten higher.
Tax has gotten higher, and it also matters of which bucket you pull from for your income on how much taxes you get paid.
Right. If you pull from a qualified bucket, you're going to pay full tilt on taxes. Now, you've put it off all those years, but eventually you're going to have to pay it.
Yeah, so it's a timing, and that's what we're going to do during the seminar.
And there are some people that take the hit now for way less than it's going to be in the future.
Correct, because most people also think that taxes are going to go up just in general.
Right. So if you take advantage of laws now and convert it, you can convert that money not only to tax-free growth, but also to tax-free income.
Correct.
What were you going to say?
Well, a lot of people don't even understand the difference between compound and simple interest. If you actually show a group of people how those numbers work, it's astonishing how much you save.
Right. Compound interest means that when you're paying a bill off and interest is added to it, the next time around, interest is added to the new amount, which is the amount you owed plus the interest. And then next time around, it compounds again and again and again. And even though they say you're paying on a credit card 14 or 16%, it literally over time is like 30%.
It is, and and you think about how much money you actually have go through your checking account or bank account.
That just sits there. So here's the whole idea, is utilizing every dime that goes through your checking account, not spending it, just using it when it sits there. When it sits there, it offsets other debt just sitting there. I know that sounds crazy, but it does, and that's what MyMoneyEvolution.com will talk about this Thursday. Go to the website Evolution. It's like revolution without the R. MyMoneyEvolution.com. Let's talk to Mike, who's been waiting a long time. Mike, what's going on with American Furniture, sir?
Hey, Tom, thanks for taking
Yes, sir.
my call.
What's going on?
My wife and I moved into our home about 2 years ago in October of 16.
Okay.
We bought a couch, love seat, and a recliner.
Okay.
The couch and love seat, the material started fading on the love seat. The couch started splitting at the seams where you sit.
Yeah.
And they came in, they repaired it, and about 8 months later, it did it again, same spot.
How much did you pay for the couch, love seat, and recliner?
I think we paid about $2,400.
Okay. And what was the warranty?
They had a 1-year warranty on it.
All right. So they repaired it once because the fabric was splitting, and then the second time around, what did they do?
They repaired it again.
Okay, then what?
And then now it's in there for a third time for the same exact thing. That's just the couch.
Now, wait a minute. Do they keep repairing it even though it's only a 1-year warranty?
Yes.
You know, that's good of them because here's what a lot of places do. They say it's a 1-year warranty, and even though you fix it, people say, well, then do I get a new year when you fix it? Is it a new 1-year warranty, and does it keep going that way? And most people do not do that. It's a 1-year warranty period, but in this case, it's almost like they're renewing that warranty every time they fix it.
Okay. No, now they say, well, your 1-year warranty's up. You've got to pay for it.
Oh.
But my question is that it's the same problem in the same area doing the same thing.
What is it doing?
It's where the seam is on the side of one of the cushions. It's splitting. It's just tearing.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yep.
The recliner that did it for a while on that. The recliner's fine, but now the power cords of the recliner had a short somewhere, and it burned. So it just, I kept smelling some plastic burning. What happened is
what did it burn?
Well, it burned the wire up and burned a little hole in my carpet.
Oh, man. They're not going to fix that.
No. They sent me a replacement piece for it, but I'm not an electrician. I mean, I can get under there and fix it and electrocute
This sucks. You know, but really, I mean, God, this is a problem. I mean, it's a problem, but how much should they do? I mean,
if it was a TV and it's something you bought at Walmart and it was a year later, would you expect Walmart to fix it?
No, that's the problem. At some point, and now you get what you pay for. I hate to say that because, I mean,
yeah, but that's not $2,200 is not dirt cheap, but
no,
it's not expensive either.
Come on, people pay that for one chair and one couch. Okay. I'm not saying go to hell, you paid something. You know, I'm not saying, hey, you know, you got a bunch of cheap crap. I'm not saying that. There's got to be some reason here. I want to know why they got it right on the recliner, but they can't get it right on the couch. Why is that? And is it only one cushion that's splitting, or are all of them splitting?
No, it's just this one certain area on one of the cushions on the couch.
That's it. Just one cushion in one area.
It's got to be the heavily used one.
I don't know.
No, we're never home. I mean, my wife.
But why is it that this one cushion on the one couch and nothing else, now that they fixed it, that keeps failing? Why? That one cushion that fails, is that the one you sit on most? I'm not saying you sit on it a lot, but is that when you do sit, is that the one you sit on?
No, my wife is usually on the love seat, and I'm in my recliner.
And why is it splitting?
She thinks they stretch the material too tight, so it just keeps splitting.
Like it dries out and splits or something?
Is it in the sun?
No, it tears. It just tears right open.
This cushion that no one uses just tears open 3 times so far.
I mean, people sit on it here and
Hey,
there.
could you do me a favor? Do you have a photo of any of these splits?
I do.
Good. I would love to see it. The next question. The burn in your carpet, how bad is it?
It was just a little, maybe a dime-sized burn, and I had a friend of mine that does carpeting just repair that. So
that could be dangerous. Those things catching his carpet on fire.
Why did it short out? Do you know?
Have no idea.
And what did they give you as a replacement?
They just sent me a little box with a cord on it. Says, well, here you go. And
well, what do you mean a box with a cord on it? Does it have to be installed, or is it something that plugs in?
Well, it plugs into the one they sent me. Plugs in. The lead comes off of the button you push to recline the chair.
But what I'm asking you, does it require you to open up the box and attach the wires?
On this one, I think you have to rewire that one.
It sounds like a washing machine or something where you got to literally connect the power cord.
Listen, is it something? Can you get a friend to help you do it? They're usually pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Listen, I hate to split hairs with you, but that's the best you're going to do on that one. So right now we have a cushion to deal with. Let's try to narrow it down.
You know who could look at this? We have somebody on the referral list, the furniture doctor.
Yes.
I'd be interested what he's got to say.
Let's first send him a photo and then get the furniture doctor. And then Daniel, he has a problem. He had a traffic accident. Daniel, we'll take you next, okay? How long ago was the accident, Daniel?
Hey, it was just over the weekend.
Oh, good. So we have a fresh... I like when people don't wait so long. Were there injuries?
I just got some bumps and bruises, and I want to say the other party as well.
Whose fault?
Mine.
All right, hold on. We'll come back and talk about this coming up. The Raleigh House has an informational number that's free of charge. You've heard me talk about it before. Please pass it along. They are there, a caring, loving staff, just answering questions about addiction. That's what they do. Now, sure, they have a program available if you want to enroll, but the purpose of this number is just to give you information on all kinds of issues relating to addiction. It's very important that you call and ask about addiction, because you need to know how to approach an addict. You need to know if they even have a habit or a problem with substance, and how do you tell, and what kind of treatment is available, and is Raleigh House a good fit? Does insurance pay? How much do they pay? What is the cost? What is involved in treatment? Call and ask anything. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559.
This report is sponsored by Farmers Insurance.
Improvements on the drive downtown, trouble on the north end.
No, I didn't realize I had it on Do Not Disturb, but I had the phone.
North end of town, southbound I-25, 128th overpass there. Two lanes remain blocked.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I finally figured out how to shut mine.
Minor crash being reported, actually, just getting worse.
You know that Uber guy was hurt?
Median, southbound
I-25,
Colorado, left lane blocked there.
I used to call that when I worked for
Weather forecast. Today with a high of
Brother-in-law whiplash.
You don't have to talk to your brother.
Right now, few clouds hanging out.
Though they do say whiplash, a lot of times won't do it till like the next day or two.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's true. From a bear messing up a car interior to a deer damaging a pool.
I do think a lot of people. He didn't have a car.
Okay, guys. A thing or two because we've seen.
Okay. Remember this website.
Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Remember this website, brightenyourfamily.com, to find a chiropractor that does chiropractic, that does actually gentle, targeted adjustments that helps you get over pain and stiffness. And the reason I say a chiropractor that does chiropractic is so many of them have strayed from the practice, and they're doing fake stem cells and all kinds of crap. Dr. Mike Hederscheit is dedicated to doing chiropractic the old-fashioned way for your entire family. He does something called a torque release technique, which is very gentle, very targeted on nerves to stop the misalignments and to help your body heal itself. University and County Line, brightenyourfamily.com. Icon Eye Care is your hometown LASIK partner of the Denver Broncos.
You were talking earlier, and Mark and I were both scooting up, and these chairs are so freaking... Did you hear his chair?
The hose? The handle?
Yeah, he was trying to scoot forward in his chair, and it was a little noisy. I was scooting up, and he was scooting up, and all the chairs were like...
I never got this kind of call. They deliver blood to hospitals. Well, the trucker got stuck on Vail Pass for 3 hours, which cost them a job for delivering blood. I just find that interesting. And he wants to know if he can sue the trucker because he didn't get back in time for the hospital in Denver. The trucker screwed up something and got stuck on Vail Pass.
Oh. Act of nature, Mother Nature. Hi, Tom Martino. Approval Reverse Mortgage is there. If you want to take advantage of your equity, it's for people 62 and older that have equity. Not always for you. Sometimes that can be a bad thing to do. In some circumstances, if you just need some money as a line of credit or an emergency, or you want to have monthly payments, it's 303-771-3528. Find out more, approvalreverse.com. Now, John Clay, speaking of that, I mean, you guys have ways people can tap equity without a reverse mortgage, because reverse mortgages are for very few people. They work in some cases. But if somebody wanted to use their equity as a line of credit, what do you suggest? This is mymoneyevolution.com. You can go on that website right now to find out about our seminar this Thursday. Okay, so if people want to tap the equity in their home, what would you suggest in a very simple way?
It's a very simple way to do it, because you only pay on when you're using it. So while it's not being used, you can have that equity there.
Is there any prepayment penalty?
No prepayment penalty.
Okay, so if you have equity and you just do this simple line of credit, okay, and you roll the first into it, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's a simple line of credit, and if you don't use the money, you're not charged for it.
Correct.
And here's the good part. The part that is loaned up, let's say you have $100,000 on your house, and it's on there, and then you have another $100,000 in equity. When you put money in the bank, and you keep money in your checking account, what happens?
It offsets what you pay on the interest.
On every dime.
On every dime.
So if you keep money over the year in your account, up and down, all around, here and there, every day it's in that account, it offsets your mortgage.
It offsets your interest
But
costs.
it doesn't tie up that money.
But it doesn't. It's liquid and it's always available.
So I can use that money to pay my bills. I can use that money to sit there. I can use that money for everything, and it's automatic. I don't have to apply it to the loan.
You don't. It's a zero balance checking account basically, and it does it every night for you.
Every night. It applies it to my mortgage.
Correct.
So over the course of a year, I can save a whole bunch of interest.
Yeah, even if it's there for 7 days a month over a 5-year period, that's a lot of interest cost.
Okay, and then in addition to that, I can use it for other things.
Correct. You can use it hopefully to earn compound interest or do some things to offset it.
And I can use the equity for a vacation?
You could, yes.
I mean, that's not necessarily wise if you let it sit there and pay on it for 30 years, but there are ways to use it like a credit card is what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's simple interest. Again,
instead of paying credit card interest.
Yes, it's going to be about teaching how to use simple interest.
And it's instantly liquid.
You
don't have to wait days to get your own money.
You do not.
And then the tax savings comes with what?
Well, that's where we're talking about more of where you put your money for some tax-free retirement, where the income comes out.
Like with a Roth,
Yes.
Again, you're not selling any particular product, but if you put it in a Roth, you can show people what that does as opposed to a 401k.
Correct, where it should be.
A Roth might be good for one person, and a 401k might be good for another.
Right, it's all kind of teaching people how to understand where and when to use it.
And it's not one product.
See, that's why I hope people are attracted to it, because there's nothing for sale. And that's the hardest, I told them before, it's the hardest thing for people to get a grasp on when you're not selling anything specifically. You're just talking about concepts. And I'm hoping that we're going to get through to people. MyMoneyEvolution.com. Daniel, I didn't forget about you, okay? Let's get right to it. You said there was a car accident and over the weekend. Was it your fault?
Yeah, I was told it was my fault. I got off the phone with the insurance company, and
did you get a ticket?
I did get a citation.
Okay, now, what is your question for us?
My question is, this is the first time I've been involved in an accident where I actually have a date to go to court as a defendant.
Who's suing you? Who's suing you, Daniel?
No one is suing me, but I don't know if I need representation for anything like this.
Well, okay, you're going to court for what? The traffic offense?
Yeah, I have a total of 7 points
Okay.
marked up in the ticket, and I want to know if
that's pretty substantial. What are the charges?
Reckless or careless driving in result of injury.
Yeah, that's serious. You know, if you get reckless that results in injury, it can rise to a level of probation or even jail. I don't think it will, but it can, and it can be hefty in fines. Yeah, you should have an attorney. When is the hearing?
It's not until the middle of December.
In my opinion, you should have an attorney. I would never do something like this without an attorney, ever. Not when it's reckless resulting in injury. You got two problems here. You got a civil problem, which your car insurance will cover. And then you have this this traffic problem, which could be like semi-criminal.
Here's what I do, okay?
Yeah.
I would show up, usually that first court date, you'll have a chance to talk to the DA. If you guys don't come to an agreement, they reset that traffic case where you actually go in front of a judge. If you don't come up with...
if you don't come up with an agreement, you can just ask for it to be delayed.
Ask for it to be delayed. But if they're not going to move, just like Tom said, man, I'd call Lazara, I'd call an attorney.
So what are you saying, Mark? The first meeting you would go and see if you can negotiate something.
See if we can get that 7 points down to something. I don't know his driving history.
And then pay a fine, in other words.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. But if you can't, then you can always hire an attorney. I don't think that's bad advice, but he's saying that's what he would do. He's not telling you to do that. So how is your driving record, Daniel?
My driving record is fair. I had a minor, a very dumb fender bender.
Yeah, but were you ever charged with reckless or red lights or stoplights or anything like that?
Probably about 12, 15 years ago.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay, so this is the only time that you've had an accident that was deemed...
A real accident.
That was deemed your fault.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with going to that and doing a pretrial conference. If they won't budge, and if they seem pretty stubborn and you can't come to an agreement, you can ask the judge to postpone it while you get an attorney. I don't think anybody would ever deny that.
You being around, I have never been around. Well, you've been around a while. Is there the scenario where the affected party would want to press charges of any sort?
Usually not. Usually, no. Usually the people that are injured, unless they think it's intentional, they don't really try to do anything. Not usually. I mean, was there any road rage involved?
No, not at all, not at all. It was just failed to yield at a right away.
So what what is your fear? That they will do what? What is your fear?
My fear is that they would press charges, being the extensity of the damages.
Yeah, but hold on. That's a civil matter. What kind of charges are you thinking? Like assault charges?
No, just I don't know. It could be like really reckless driving, not paying attention.
Well, that's what you got. You got reckless driving.
Okay.
It doesn't get worse than this. You got reckless driving resulting in injury. Vehicular manslaughter or vehicular, like assault, is different. You did nothing intentionally, okay? I mean, again, Daniel, these are questions for an attorney, but if this happened to me, I don't think I would be concerned with people amending the charges, but it can always happen. But even if that does happen, you can always ask for a continuance. They're not going to throw you in jail. There was no alcohol involved, right?
No, and that's what I was going to say. No alcohol on my part at all. I don't drink or
okay, so I think I would try, if it was me, no alcohol, no priors, no intent. If it was me, I would ask for a meeting with the prosecutor before the hearing and try to negotiate it and try to pay a fine and be done with it. And if they won't do it, then what I would do is ask for a continuance, and then I'd call Joe Lazara and get an attorney on your side.
You had insurance, right?
Yeah. Daniel, do you have insurance?
Yeah, I'm covered. I'm just covered completely.
Okay.
What's his number? 303-429-6200.
Okay. Robert, This is a weird one. This is also a traffic no, not an accident. It's a traffic delay of some kind. Robert, what is this?
We were taking blood to Glenwood Springs Hospital at 1 o'clock in the morning. Some idiot trucker with a oversized load, really heavy, he was hauling a crane on a low boy flatbed, goes over Vale Pass in the snow and the ice and the slush. He winds up going sideways, completely blocking westbound I-70. We were stuck for about 2.5, 2.75 hours on Vale Pass until we...
Did it ruin your blood transport?
He made us miss another job, which we would have been paid $180 to do. But because we were delayed 2.5 hours, we couldn't do it. So Bonte's Blood Center had to call another courier.
Yeah, could you imagine if this was an organ transport? Seriously.
Well...
No, it could be serious. Now listen, here's what I want to talk about. There's something called an act of God, and then there is something called negligence. I mean, you know, if there was no chain law, if he was not breaking a law, actually there's one in between. I said an act of God, and then I said negligence, and then there's something called negligence pro se, and that's when you don't intend to be negligent, but you're deemed negligent because you broke a law. So were any of those true? Did he break any laws?
No, I'm sure he had chains. The chain law was in effect. I'm sure he did have chains on.
Then why would he be held accountable for an act of God? Think about that as we contemplate it, okay? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for all your garage door needs. You know, simply put, you're never going to do better. OneClearChoiceDoors.com.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Hey, John, I got a question. You got to take a new loan out to do this?
Yeah, you replace your credit.
Okay.
You know what?
So you wouldn't do that.
Dan, do you have equity?
Yeah.
Do you have a loan?
Do I have a loan?
Yeah. What rate?
3.8.
Okay. This thing is a floating interest rate. But no matter what, because if you have any cash balances that you maintain, especially like a savings account, anything, to not have it, I just don't understand.
Some clients will do a $300,000 loan and they have $300,000 sitting somewhere.
I'd like to do it.
Yeah, because whatever's in the account, you
right, but I don't have any loan.
If I could
I might
offset,
deal for it, right?
the only thing that would work perfect is if you could offset in the Ameritrade account against your mortgage.
So it's just an emergency.
No, I mean, and still trade it.
Oh, I see. Well, you can. You just got to transfer it over, trade it.
And we're just coming out with.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're even in a position, that
If I
position,
do this,
the net worth of that position would count towards it.
that'll see me down.
I mean, there's no such thing.
So what kind of rates are you right now?
Well, right now the rate's about 5.5, but it's offset. It's.
But a typical 30 is 5.
Well, I'm 3.8 though.
Yeah,
I know you
but,
are.
so if you don't have any cash balances that you maintain, where you don't make money.
No, I know what
Where
you're
are
saying.
you?
I know what you're saying. And this is a great one. It would have been way back then.
Now here's the other thing too. And if you ever need cash, like to go back and forth for an investment,
Are you in a 15?
No, 30.
Why the fuck are you at a 30?
Because I did it.
See, I have a money market account. That's shit interest, isn't it? I could offset. If I have a lot of money in a money market that would offset a shitload of it.
Yeah. Just pull out. I mean, but yeah, but you don't have a mortgage, so you really right now.
No, but I could have but
your other
like
place
this, I have a free line of credit.
So what you could do?
I mean, I literally have that money.
Just get it on there,
and I would have free money available.
Right. When the deal comes out, you
borrow
do it.
And
it costs you nothing.
I'm saying I would
But you still
borrow
have to make your payments.
that money that's earning me. You're right. I wouldn't earn that anymore, but it would
No,
be
you would
offset.
have no mortgage. Basically, look at it
Is
as
it
a
like
line of credit.
using it for something?
No.
If I'm using it for something,
No,
to
no,
make money,
yeah. You can look at it that way. It sure is. Say your place is worth $500,000.
Right.
You get a $300,000 loan on it. That money sits in that bank.
Unless you want to use
And if you don't pull it out, you have zero payment.
So it's like that is like an equity line, and it's the effective interest rate, not the volume.
Yes.
So there is no principal, you don't pay.
But here's where it's different.
If you're always paying principal first. If you have balance.
No. If you have no money pulled out of there, you don't pay a nickel.
Right.
Zero.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
He's saying when you do pay, it goes right back towards principal. But here's something that's crazy too. It's like a HELOC, but it's a 30-year term. So they can't call it each year like a typical HELOC.
Right.
It's a 30-year HELOC.
We got a big HELOC.
Wait, doesn't it amortize
They
after
can come
15
up
years?
in 5 years, 10 years.
No, what it does is after 10 years, starts reducing your available line of credit by 1/240th.
Why?
To force to a zero balance.
Oh.
So you still have access to it. So if my line started at
That's the part that's
400,000,
cool because they.
I'm on 121. Now I can only borrow 398,000.
Property, but we wouldn't qualify.
Com can stop a foreclosure in its tracks with a Chapter 13. Now, obviously, I hope you're never facing this problem and you don't need them. But if you do, they're there. They can also write down loans to their actual value if you're upside down in a vehicle under certain circumstances. You ought to call them. 303-410-1720, winkandwink.com. Let's talk about this blood delivery. Robert's concerned he lost a job because he was transporting blood and he was delayed. He wants to blame the trucker because the trucker blocked the pass. Yes, the trucker's to blame, but it was unintentional because it's an act of God, right? What would make him negligent? Well, if he broke the law and didn't have chains, or if he was negligent in some way. I don't know, like people advised him not to do it, or it was stupid or something, or he was reckless. It's very difficult.
Even if he had not had chains on, I'm still not sure this guy would be get $180.
No, you have to prove a loss. And I give another example. I mean, there could be weird lawsuits if somebody lost a whole crap of money, or that a doctor was late for surgery and a patient died. But then you'd have to prove that if it wasn't for that person, they would have made it to surgery and they would have lived. Now, we know for sure that Robert would have had the job if he wasn't delayed. He knows for sure that because the job was waiting for him. And it was canceled and they hired somebody else. So, Robert, first of all, the losses are almost too small to go after. They're $180, okay? So that part is discouraging right there. And the second one is the burden of proof. I don't know how you would show negligence. How would you show negligence?
The fact that he would try to do a trip like that in that kind of weather conditions on a steep path.
You did.
Yes, but I'm driving a four-wheel drive authorized emergency vehicle, so
okay, but
I have four-wheel drive.
He can say he's done it several times before. I mean, I'm saying that is he any more negligent than any other trucker that went over that night?
I think so, because he had such a heavy load. It was a lowboy trailer, and the conditions were so bad.
Yeah.
Also, I'm agnostic, so this should not be an act of God.
Yes, you call it. Yeah, that's true. And they would call that. They do call it. You're right. They don't call it that in court necessarily. An act of an act of nature. But really, you know, what you're saying is not totally ridiculous. There have been people that have pursued things like that.
I have no doubt if he took the trucking company to small claims court,
he'd lose.
No, I think he'd win because I think they'd settle with him for $180.
Oh yeah.
It cost him a freaking fortune to show up.
No, you're right.
And there's no counterclaim, so they can't bump it up to the next level.
Now,
okay,
Mark,
well, I'll write them a letter.
You ought to write him a letter. Mark, when you talk about bumping something up to a higher court when it comes to small claims.
The only way you can do that is if you exceed on the counterclaim that $7,500.
Right. So you can't just hire an attorney and the mere hiring of an attorney kicks it up or not?
No, in fact, every case, I'm not going to mention, but a telco company,
yes,
a software company,
right,
and a taxi-like company, all of them sent attorneys for pretrial, and that's where I settled with all of them.
But if you didn't settle, would the attorney...
We'd be in court 24 hours later that day.
With the attorney?
I'd be up against their attorney, absolutely.
Right. So attorneys are allowed
in small claims court,
contrary to what everyone thinks. They're not.
No, absolutely. They've got to file a motion. I always receive the motion at least 10 days before the pretrial conference, and there's nothing I can do to argue that, so I know the attorney's going to be there.
Okay. The only time when I say, hey, they're going to try to get it kicked up to a higher court, the only time they do that is with a counterclaim.
And if the counterclaim is over $7,500, now I won't say the only reason. They could argue venue and other options, but no, generally speaking, the only way they're going to get it out of small claims court is to countersue for over $7,500.
Okay. But because it originated in small claims.
Nope, that's a
What about the relaxed rules of evidence?
Nope, the judge might, he might try to make things a little easier on you, but then you're going to be in trouble. You should hire an attorney at that point.
Okay, because the rule is that if it originates in small claims court, the relaxed rules of evidence apply, which is something that can definitely sink your case.
The judge will be a little nicer, but I'm telling you, you need to have an attorney at that point.
Yeah, anyone who tries to fight in district court
against an attorney,
even county court, you can lose even if you're right.
We've witnessed it. Yeah. It's incredible. You can be dead to right.
Yeah, even if you're right and somebody is ripping you off royally, they can get your evidence disqualified. It's procedural only.
Now, if they said, in this guy's case, if they said, well, let's countersue him for $8,000 because, well, they'd have to make something up, the judge would most likely say, well, that's not even a real counterclaim and probably keep it in small claims.
Right. It has to be a real claim. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, that was an interesting question, though, about the blood delivery. Now let's talk to Leslie. Leslie, what's happening?
Hello?
Yes, what's going on, Leslie? How can we help you?
Okay. We went up to Arapahoe County Court this morning. Our bail bondsman told us to go get on the docket. It's for a felony charge out of Arapahoe.
Okay, so...
And he spent several months in Douglas County, was transferred to Arapahoe. Then they transferred him out of Arapahoe to Jeffco. So we thought all that was done, and then all of a sudden this bail bondsman comes back at me and says, by the way, he has to go, back up to Arapahoe County, and you need to get on the docket, which we did this morning.
So, Leslie, let me get this straight. When someone is charged with a felony and there's a hearing coming up, right? Mm-hmm. What do you mean? I never heard of the defendant filing his own. In other words, why does he have to get on the docket? It's automatic, isn't it? Isn't he on the docket if he's charged and there is a hearing?
I don't know, because he was released from Arapahoe County and transferred to Douglas County.
Why was he transferred? Why was he transferred?
He had charges out of all three counties.
Right, and they transfer you according to where you're going to appear. Right?
Maybe he missed his court date because he was locked up in one place.
That could be. That could be.
No, but okay, normally they coordinate that kind of thing. In other words, if this guy is pending charges, they usually automatically transfer him where he needs to be. Are they saying it's not automatic, that he had to know where he's supposed to be?
No, I don't know what they're saying. All I know is...
What did they mean when they said, get on the docket? What did that mean?
It told us to go up. Well, what we're trying to do is get this behind us so he can move forward. He is in recovery for heroin.
Okay, so...
And he's doing fabulous.
Well, tell me, so the bail bondsman said, get on the docket, in Jefferson, right?
No, in Arapahoe.
And what was the purpose of getting on the docket?
To settle whatever he spent months in jail that apparently didn't get finished.
Okay, here's what I want to know. If he did not, so-called, get on the docket, what would happen? Would he spend life in jail?
I doubt it.
No, the bail bondsman is the one that wanted them to get on the docket for whatever reason. Maybe they were going to lose their... Yeah, I don't know.
This is what
he get the bond back.
Anyway, we can find out with Joe Lazzara. We can help you. But anyway, what is the issue right now, dear? What can we do to help you?
I just need to get this resolved.
What? That's the point. What do you need to get resolved?
These courts the Arapahoe County and the Jefferson County. We need to get rid of all this stuff.
Well, okay, where is he right now?
Now, home.
Yeah. So he's out on bail?
Then why isn't he calling us?
Okay, he's out on bail, and he needs to go to face these charges in 2 counties. Okay, but aren't they going to, I mean, if he doesn't do it, aren't they going to do it?
I don't know. They have a warrant for his arrest.
Wait, for not showing, is there a warrant right now for his arrest?
Yes.
Well, you didn't mention that. Then he must have missed a court date.
That's not what they're saying.
Well, they don't put out a warrant for your arrest when you're summoned to go to court. They summon you to go to court. So somewhere along the line, somewhere along the line, he was summoned to go to court and he missed it. Now I see.
And the bail bondsman got very upset because he's got his bond out there.
So here's what you need to do. I hate to say this, but you need an attorney. Is Joe Lazzara around? I mean, you need to be represented by an attorney, and they will call and get it straightened out. This is too hard to do on your own, Leslie. It's
right.
Well, okay. Joe Lazzara, 303-429-6200, okay? It's that easy.
This report is sponsored by Farmers Insurance.
So you better get your ass on the docket, or I'm going to come down and get you.
I'm going to tell you something right now. We need to get another criminal defense attorney on the referral list and an endorsement, and we'll get him. He'll be on the radio all the time. He'll be on all the time because we can never.
Well, Joe is so busy.
Okay, well then let's get another one. That tells me when you have a free market thing.
No, we can afford another one. There's no doubt.
Then we'll get one. Let's put
it
the
won't
word
even
out.
take away from him.
No, that's right. Right.
I think you're right. He's facing 3 counties. He missed a court date because he was in jail. But that doesn't make any difference.
Well, we don't know. We don't know.
Especially
That's why
since
he's
out. We absolutely need to find another thing.
And she probably had to put her house up for collateral on that. She says, I'm coming after your house. You don't get your ass over there, so I get my bond money.
Oh, I hate all these Black Friday now. You know, it's not Black Friday until Black Friday. God damn it, because I know it.
We don't see
lower.
You just see Friday.
We get, if you guys need anything big, I mean like a big thing, at Walmart, we get 25% off one time, but I got it. It's only one trip, so I got to do it all in one trip.
You gotta have a big cart.
That family.
Oh, you should have seen us last time. We had 4 or 5.
Hi, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
You will never do better if you're buying or selling real estate. He will take care of it all. You just sign up and he takes care of it. And here's the great thing. He's not going to hold you to a long-term contract. If you don't like the progress, if you don't like what's going on, he just asks for 1 day. After that, you're free to cancel. You know the reason I say that is because no one ever does. They love him. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. So My Money Evolution, what time is it on Thursday?
It's at 6:30 on Thursday.
MyMoneyEvolution.com. How long does it take?
Would probably be a total of about an hour and a half, hour 15 minutes.
I'd say an hour and 15. I'm going to make it shorter. Because anyway, seriously though, they're going to learn a lot.
No.
There's not one. There's nothing they have to buy. Nothing they have to change. It will cost them nothing, even if they do decide to do any of these things. It doesn't cost them anything.
It doesn't cost them anything. We're just going to try to look at an overall plan to say.
Even if they want to do this this line of credit or this simple interest thing, it really doesn't cost you because it's like a transfer, and eventually it'll actually save you money. I mean, when we're talking about fees, we're talking about normal stuff, normal refinancing stuff. It's not a big deal. So what I mean, it's not something that's extra. But Eric's got a comment on this blood transport. What do you think about that, Eric, the trucker? And I know you're a trucker, right? Are you the Eric who's a trucker? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. What's your comment? He shouldn't have done it, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead.
So I want to address the idiot blood transport driver who 90% of the times when bail pass is closed to spun out vehicles is because of people like him and others in their passenger vehicles who can't drive in the snow and ice, and I have dealt with another blood transport driver once before who said, I'm an authorized vehicle, and state patrol handed him a ticket after he spun out and blocked traffic. Here's the thing he should realize. What if he spun out and blocked traffic and cost that trucker a $25,000 load? Can he write the trucking company a check?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know. Listen, enough said. I get it. I really do. I get it. You're pissed off. You're a trucker, and you're saying, look, most of the time we're not the ones clogging up the works.
Yeah, but in this case, apparently he was.
Jade, what's going on with you, Jade?
Hi.
What's happening?
So
back in June, I purchased my first home.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Sorry, I'm getting emotional now.
Uh-oh, hold on now. Let me ask you something. What went wrong? What went wrong? Listen, maybe Suzanne's going to sum it up. Go ahead,
So,
Suzanne.
Tom, the day she closed on her house, some pipe on the toilet leaked, caused a flood, and she has not lived in that home since. So
Oh,
it's
my
a problem
God.
with ServPro and possibly a problem with the home inspector.
Now, wait a minute. The pipe, what pipe broke, Jade?
The line that feeds into the toilet tank. It cracked and came off.
Yes. But that's not a lot of water. You mean the toilet tank water, or did it trigger the valve and it kept flowing?
It was just the line that, well, it kept flowing because there was about 3,000 gallons.
Oh. Oh, and it flooded your home. Were you covered by insurance?
Yes, I am.
Then what's the problem? What did ServPro do?
So ServPro, sorry.
Why did you hire ServPro?
It was recommended to me or referred to me by my insurance broker, and they were really great on the cleanup process, but then, of course, because of the age of the home, it had mold and asbestos. We got that all cleared up, and then when they were able to go back in there at the beginning of August to start doing work, it's been super slow since then. The last time that they were in here doing work was beginning of September.
Now, Jade, you brought up a good point. You said they were super good at cleanup, but when it comes to reconstruction, I want to say something in general, and I hope people write it down and use it and really tell others. And those online, I want you to take note of this. Almost 90% of the time, the company that you call for your disaster should not be the one to rebuild. Because you will never, in my opinion, get a great deal, nor will you get experts. I believe that the ones who do the cleanup should clean up and get the hell out of there. Then you hire people who do this every day. They rebuild. That's what they do. They're not carpet cleaners and water suckers, and then they go out and try to build your house. And worse, they subcontract it. So, Jade, you got caught up in a company that may have done a great cleanup, but they don't know what the hell they're doing. Are they in charge of the rebuilding, ServPro?
They are in charge of the rebuild. We've already had to have the floors in my kitchen redone because they didn't do it properly the
Right,
first time.
right. There's no, okay, so right now, the way we're looking at this, your hang-up is with ServPro completing the job. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, so what can we do to help you?
At this point, I don't know.
I'll tell you what we can do. We can make sure ServPro, first of all, they're getting paid by your insurance, right?
For the most part, yes.
What do you mean for the most part?
The upstairs that wasn't affected by the flood, which is the bedrooms and the kitchen in this area, I had them install the flooring.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. You should never use them. You should hire experts. Is it too late to get out of that, or do you have a contract for that?
I don't know if it's too late. I'm under the impression that it's too late because then I have to go back to my insurance company and say, hey, I have to get a new person in here. And
No, I'm not asking you to get a new person. I'm saying the extra work you wanted done, is that already signed, sealed?
Pretty much, because that's all I had was the flooring
All right.
and the upstairs.
So what you need is
it's already
you
done.
need someone to come in and police this thing for you to make sure they don't give you a screw job.
Right, and that's kind of, I guess, where I'm at now because they had this third-party guy come in from Beeline Construction.
And why? Well, who's this third party?
It's called Beeline Construction.
But why? Why was a third party called in?
Because we were 8 weeks into not having any permits for the work that they had done.
Who called Beeline?
ServPro
Your
had.
insurance company?
No, ServPro did.
Why?
And I said because they didn't want to put their name on the permits for the work that they had already done.
No, they don't have the licensing to do it, I'll bet.
That's what I'm assuming as well because they gave me the runaround for 2 months.
Okay, I hope people are listening about ServPro. ServPro sucks, and I hope people, and I mean literally and figuratively. So here's what we want to do. We want to send one of our people to look at your job and to help you through this, and we'll crack the whip. But remember, you're not with a great company to begin with, but maybe they can convince us. So when do they say your project will be completed?
They told me October 1st.
Okay. Now, Jade, you sound young. Are you young?
I'm 23.
You are very young. Your first home at 23, how did you manage that? I know some kids 23, they can't tie their shoes. So how did you manage that?
I'm very fiscally responsible. I have great parents.
Okay.
I work hard.
Are they helping you at all?
They are, yes.
Okay. So, Jade, we're going to get some information from you, and I'm going to have one of our people go over, first of all, and just look over the job with you, okay?
Okay.
And then we're going to contact ServPro, and we're going to have our inspector, who's one of the best, look at that work. And if they don't do it according to the way they're supposed to, then we will know that. So you hold on, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Let's get Eagle to help us on this, Clint. First, I want you to go. You want to walk the job and help this young woman?
Sure.
Huh? Okay. You're old enough to be my granddaughter, so hang on there. 303-713-TALK. Oh, I don't know why I'm giving that out. Referralist.com. We're out of time. We're going to help Jade. You keep listening for follow-ups. That young woman needs our help. If you know someone, let them contact us, please.
It's never been easier to get ladies stress away. That poor lady. I hear a sweet young woman that needs help. That's what I.
And I have a personal thing against it.
Servpro even do you really? Servpro?
Yeah.
I tell you, all those reclamation ones are.
Well, they're expensive.
Oh God, are they expensive?
My wife and I
Just
both
for
had the flu, and we had a $500 rug in a rental house in the basement. And we called, says that we're saving it or we just throw it away. And they said we come in for 1 hour for $249. And so I said, well, we'll pay for 1 hour. So they came in, dried it all up, put it. They came back and sued us for $6,000 because the contractor said they had a right to come and finish mold remediation.
You know what?
And they won.
When they get these people, when you get these people in there,
Request for recommendation for a home inspector and water well tester.
Oh, what now?
Home inspector and a water well tester.
Where?
It's